about that guy is awesome. So more Bob Seymour, please, if you can. As for the Mariners, all right, 2 numbers. I've been thinking about this since yesterday. Lyle, I can't believe that this number came out yesterday and that I didn't realize it before then. There are 2 numbers that are really sticking with me about where the Mariners are at right now and why they're in so much trouble. The first, and we talked about this one yesterday, but I'll bring it up again. They are 30th in batting average with runners in scoring position. Now, I understand it's 2025. I know we don't look at batting average the same way we did 35 years ago. But with runners in scoring position, it becomes pretty important, right? I love OPS, OPS plus. All those numbers are really important because they, for a player, to judge a player or even a team, they take into account all that they do, not just whether or not you got a hit or not. It helps, it takes in your walks and your power numbers and all of that, which are really relevant. But with runners in scoring position, what's the job? Get a hit, right? That's the job. Get a hit. Runners in scoring position, get a hit. And not just for the Mariners, or not just for baseball in general, but for the Mariners in particular, who we were told that would be what they were going to do. The Edgar Martinez philosophy, right? We heard a lot about this. And I'm not going to kill Edgar today for this number because I never really praised him a lot when the Mariners were hitting. I just don't believe that strongly in hitting coaches. I just don't. So when Edgar was getting a lot of praise at the beginning of this year and at the end of last year, I was pretty quiet about it. But as the Mariners are not hitting right now, especially with runners in scoring position, I'm not going to kill Edgar for it either because I just don't believe that strongly that a hitting coach has that much to do with how a team is hitting. I just don't. Never have. Probably never will. But 30th, dead last in the league, in the thing that was supposed to be like the hallmark of what you were doing, that's not doing it for me, guys. That's not working. And here's what makes it even a little worse. It's not just that they're 30th, dead last in batting average with runners in scoring position. With no one on, with the bases empty, they're 11th. It's not like they can't hit for average. With nobody on, they're 11th. 11th in batting average with nobody on base. Basically top third of the league. Almost. They're 11th. Now you put a runner on first, they get a little worse. 19th. Now you put runners in scoring position, you drop all the way to 30th. They're 22nd overall. But it's crazy to me that as the situation gets more, what should be advantageous to them, right? As you start to put more traffic on the base paths, which should put more pressure on the pitcher, the Mariners' bats get worse. Worse. Why? So I've been trying to figure that out. I don't have an answer. I don't know the answer to that. You'd have to talk to them. You'd have to be in their heads. I don't know why they get worse the more pressure is put on the pitcher. But I have a theory. We've talked about the Mariners' struggles with spin, right? That they are a good fastball hitting team, but they struggle with spin. Okay. I don't know whether, and again, I don't have the numbers to back this up, but I'm just wondering, do opposing pitchers dig in? Right, with nobody on base, you can just throw fastballs, and if they get a hit, all right, whatever. If they have a solo home run, whatever. But once you get runners on, or especially runners in scoring position, and the pitcher digs in, and you start seeing their good stuff rather than their get me over stuff, do the Mariners' bats go quiet in those moments? Maybe. Do they put more pressure on themselves? Maybe. I mean, these are all hypotheses. I don't know. But that number is pretty damning for a team that is supposedly really focused on that. Right? We don't need to always hit the same way with the same approach all the time. With runners in scoring position, we're going to change our approach. Well, it's not working because you're dead last in batting average with runners in scoring position. Whatever change in approach they're trying, it's not working. So that number really stands out to me. Dead last, 30th in batting average with runners in scoring position. The other one, and it's especially relevant this morning, you know where the Mariners rank in road ERA this year?
I mean, it keeps going down. It was 20th or it was 21st just a few days ago.
It's dropped. 26th as of this morning. 26th in baseball in road ERA. And we've talked about the home road splits and the problems for the team this year, but that pretty well sums it up. Why are the Mariners having trouble winning on the road? Because they're 26th in road ERA, and you're not going to win too many games when your pitchers are giving up that many runs. You're just not. You're just not. Not going to happen. We could talk about whatever players are slumping or who's up or who's down or this approach, whatever. The Mariners are built on pitching, plain and simple. And if you are, what does that make them? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Fifth worst in baseball. Fifth worst in baseball in road ERA. You're not giving yourself a chance to win many games on the road, which is why you have a bad road record, right? Why are they struggling to win on the road? Because they're not in the games. I wasn't able to double split it, so I wasn't able to tell how many runs they were giving up in the first inning on the road. But I bet if I did, you would find it was a lot. I don't have that number. I'm sorry. But this team is 8 games below 500 on the road. This after playing really good road baseball early in the year, right? Remember when they were winning every single series at the beginning of the season? We were like, man, they're unbelievable. And especially on the road, and the offense came to life. They're now 32-40 on the road. Now, thankfully, 41-27 at home. They played great ball in front of their home crowd. But 32-40 on the road, and their run differential is down to plus 11 overall on the season, which is why you're only a few games now over 500. 6. So when you look at these numbers, they definitely start to tell a story, and I don't love the picture that it's creating. Do I think it's a terrible team? No. I still think that there's a ton of talent on this team. But you got to hit with runners in scoring position, especially when that's like a major focus of who you are. You got to pitch on the road, especially when that's a big part of how you were designed to pitch. I mean, like, that's your core. That's the core principles of who you are. That'd be like the Seahawks this weekend, running for 22 yards. Be like, hey, how come they didn't win? Well, they didn't run the ball. That's what they're supposed to do. Well, what else happened? Well, their defense gave up 38 points. Well, yeah, they're not going to win. If the Seahawks defense gives up 38 points and they run the ball for 22 yards, guess what? They're not going to win. I'll tell you that right now. The Seahawks are not going to beat the Niners 40-38 this weekend. Watch it happen. But, that's not how they're designed. And the Mariners are not going to win many, many games or have a tremendous season if they're going to be dead last with hitting and with runners in scoring position and 26th in road ERA. Those are two really important stats for them. And so when I looked at those two, they really, just as I said, just jumped out to me, and unfortunately not in a good way. Now, here's the good news. No, not just that we discovered Bob Seymour, although that was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Aaron said it last night, and he's absolutely right. This team, for whatever reason, has turned on a dime with absolutely no warning whatsoever. We've seen them go from winning 9 out of 10 to losing 7 out of 9. And then we've seen them go from losing like that to winning just like that with no earthly suggestion that it was coming. Could they turn around, win 3 straight in Atlanta, come home and look great? Absolutely. You know it. I know it. You may not feel that way this morning because you're mad, understandably. But, these numbers can turn around in a hurry, right? You know that. They know that. I'll play you the sound from Dan here in a minute. Need to know he knows that. Now, I'm not just banking on that because that doesn't make any sense. We'll just keep going on and on and on and banking that eventually everything will turn around. That's a hard ask. And unfortunately, that's sort of been the style this year. There's not a lot of buttons being pushed. There's not a lot of levers being pulled. Kind of run the same thing out there every day and hope it works. And yesterday, it didn't work. And then you get to some of the head scratchers. We'll dig into that a little bit later. For a team that seems to be very tired, there were a lot of opportunities to get guys off their feet yesterday, and Harry Ford didn't jump into the game. I mean, very confusing to me, and I'm probably not alone. We'll come back with everything you need to know. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla pre-test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license, unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speed lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right.
Download the PrizePicks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, things don't seem to be getting a whole lot better for the Mariners right now. They were swept out of Tampa after getting their doors blown off again last night. This time, starting pitching, the culprit, George Kirby, did not have it at all right from the jump.
Here's the stretch, and the Kirby 1-1 on the way, swinging a line drive into right center field. That drops in, a base hit, a run will score. Diaz will score. Brandon Loud down to second. The throw in by Canzone is cut off by Crawford. So Caminero continues his hot hitting, drives in a run. His 101st run batted in for the year, and it's 1-0 Rays.
Yeah, that was the first of 8 runs given up by Kirby. It was brutal, hard to watch, and also hard to do without allowing a home run, but he managed 10 hits, a few of them to Yandy Diaz. He set a career high with 5 base hits on the night. It was just an ugly game, but Dan Wilson says his team's got what it takes.
I think we all know what they have, and they know it too, and it's gonna turn. And a chance tomorrow to regroup a little bit and then go from there. We got a lot of games left. It's strong short, strong near, but this is a team that we all know it's going to turn, and it's going to turn quick, and just got to keep grinding away at it.
I think it is difficult to say we all know right now. I think a lot of the fans certainly are not in that boat, but I credit the 253. It was a great point. 2020 writes in saying the 2023 World Series winning Rangers went 4-15 in a 19-game stretch at the end of August and early September. Obviously, they won the World Series just a couple months later. It does happen. I didn't think that team was that good, and they went on quite a run at the very end of that season just to mess with me. But yeah, I mean, it can happen. Will it happen for the Mariners? It's up to them to kind of get this thing going. Meanwhile, Astros win. Yankees imploded in the 8th inning. I guess some tensions flared in the Houston clubhouse after the weird incidents in the previous game, so I don't know, didn't seem to affect them. Kansas City lost, Red Sox lost, and they lost Roman Anthony for the rest of the regular season, so not good for them. Texas shut out by the D-backs, so here's where you're at. Mariners now 4 back in the division, but don't lose any ground in the wild card. Still a game and a half up in the wild card, 2.5 up on both Kansas City and Tampa.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, first official practice report of the season came out for the Seahawks. Looks pretty good. Only a couple players on it, and all of them participated, at least in some way. Torrey Horton, full go. Chenna Nwosu, Jake Bobo, Derek Young, Cody White, all partial participants yesterday. They're gearing up for San Francisco on Sunday, and to win, going to have to run the ball. So where's the run game at? Mike Macdonald.
That was the run game that we envisioned for the most part. Green Bay felt like we could have ran it a little bit better in some spots. I think our practices have been on point and sharp. So, today's a big day to kind of get a feel for where we're at. But the guys are confident. I do feel like we continue to stack and move forward, which is all you can ask for at this point in the season.
Yeah, well, good. We'll see what it actually looks like out on the field on Sunday. Oh, yeah, by the way, maybe the best news, linebacker Tyrese Knight, who they need, not a lot of depth at the position, did not even appear on the injury report after missing much of camp with a knee issue and then other undisclosed health problems as well. Niners, They got like half their roster, 16 players on the report, but most of them look like they'd be available to play, including Juwan Jennings. You know who should be there is old friend Diamador Lenore, who I think everyone just likes saying his name, but also he's a bit of a smack talker, and he seems to hate the Seahawks. So he was asked, hey, are you more passionate about Seattle than any other opponent?
Obviously, you've really embraced the rivalry with Seattle. Is that an opponent that you feel like you're more passionate about than others?
Always. Literally, this whole offseason has been about Seattle. So, I mean, I got to back it up.
This whole offseason has been about Seattle. Okay, well, that seems like a bit much, but whatever, man. He's got to go try to back it up, and no DK for him to fight with anymore, so he'll have to do his battling with JSN, Cooper Kupp, and
yeah, he's talked a lot about JSN in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Too, so.
I know. He says he's not good, right? Didn't he say he was just not good? All right, well, that'll be fun. Maybe JSN will torch
I think he brought up Ken Walker's baldness as well, which also someone at the Packers brought up.
Seems to be kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The guys are very upset about his baldness.
I don't know, which is funny because I don't think he actually is bald. I think he just shaved his head.
They don't like it. It's a law. Seems to really irk people around the NFL.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Hey, speaking of around the NFL, it starts tonight. Philly and Dallas. From the city of brotherly love, the Eagles will unveil their new championship banner. And it sounds like there's a discrepancy on whether to watch or not. I guess I'll watch if I'm home. CeeDee Lamb is going to be there because he'll be playing for the Cowboys, and he's definitely going to watch.
No, I'm going to watch it. Shout out them for that. Shout out Jay, because I still got brothers over there. You know what I'm saying? It's not really anything personal, but it's something that I'm chasing. So,
why do you want to watch it?
Motivation.
I respect that, man. I absolutely respect it. Go watch the same way sometimes you like to watch another team celebrate when they win the cup or the title or whatever. Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the Padres did after the Mariners won the Vetter Cup. I think they had to watch, motivate them for next year. You don't want to lose 2 Vetter Cups in a row. So I think the Padres did the same thing. By the way, Nick Sirianni didn't even realize that they were unfurling the banner.
Yeah, I didn't know it was banner night. We won't be out for that.
Oh, all right. Excuse me.
Sounds like a bunch of smart people.
Why are they... He didn't know it was banner night? Come on, man. You got to know it was banner night.
I mean, yeah, you're pretending you don't know because you want to.
Right.
That's not important to us.
Yeah,
the game's important.
We're on to next year. Tough guy. Come on. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk show. Salk, if they hold on to the third wildcard spot, will be on the road for the playoff game. True. Yeah, that's not ideal. As we know, their pitching has not been great. Salk, call out all these fans like Lyle who are literally throwing in the towel like the season is over. One thing you might consider is just going Seahawks all day long today. Well, we'll do a little bit of both. No, I'm not going to ignore what's going on with the Mariners. It's important. There's a lot invested into where this team is at right now. They gave up a lot of long-term resources at the deadline in order to help themselves for these final 2 months, and they're playing, unfortunately, some of their worst baseball of the season. Do I think it can turn? Of course. Yeah. But I don't know whether, Dan's saying, well, it'll just turn. We all know, are there some buttons to be pushed? Are there some levers to be pulled? Are there some changes to be made? Is there something that can be done to get this team moving? We'll talk more about it. In fact, there was a weird incident last night. I'll tell you what, I will lead off. We're going to go around the station, but I'll lead off with a very odd little back and forth that went down last night. And the result of it all it's strange, too. It's next on Brock and Salk.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts are flying. They better re-sign him.
The fan base is crazy. It's almost electric. You can sometimes feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
All right, guys, I've told you luxury really does await at the new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is beautiful, and you can book a room right now at snocasino.com. The rooms are pretty spectacular. I saw one of the suites, too. Oh, my gosh. 2 rooms, a whole deal, beautiful couches, awesome views. There's kind of like views everywhere. Even the pool area has unbelievable views. It's like a whole indoor-outdoor deal, and then the sports bar is kind of the same thing with this crazy view of the whole valley and unbelievable number of TVs, great food. It's just awesome, man. I really was impressed, and I thought it was going to be great, but it still exceeded my expectations. So get over there. Go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, experience the power of choice. Whether you're cruising in a fuel-sipping Prius, tackling trails in a rugged Tacoma, hauling with the mighty Tundra, or commuting in comfort with the Camry or RAV4, your perfect Toyota is waiting. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, the power of choice is yours. Visit their incredible team and beautiful showrooms today or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
O'Brien. Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with the Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything, unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part? Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at 4hers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's 4hers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
206 weighing in with probably the best text I've seen this morning saying, yeah, guys, let's face it. The Mariners let the Vetter Cup go to their heads. And maybe that's what's happened. Maybe that's why they've struggled so badly on this road trip. Now, 1-5 on the road trip after losing the first series and getting swept in Tampa. You got to kind of get a sweep now in Atlanta to make this respectable. Even then, 4-5 was not what you wanted to do. But okay, you go 4-5 on the road and have success at home. You're probably going to make the playoffs. That's fine. But 3-6, 2-7, God forbid 1-8. That is not a very good road trip, and they're still going to face some pretty solid starting pitching once they get to Atlanta tomorrow. It was a bit of an odd situation yesterday. So no fights yet this year, right? We've talked about that. No fights at all for the Mariners, and I'll maintain that in all of my 16 years here, now 16 and a half years. The Mariners have been in one fight, and it was the only year they made the playoffs. And I'm not saying that those two things are correlated, but they sure seem to be. In any event, George Kirby hits Josh Lowe, a lefty, with a cut fastball yesterday, right? Comes inside to the lefty. And anytime a righty hits a lefty with a fastball, it's fair to wonder if it's on purpose, right? Now, if he does that to a righty, I don't think anybody freaks out, right? It's just sort of the way the ball tails. When a righty hits a righty high, you go, all right, he lost command of the fastball. It got away from him a little bit. It continued to drift high and away to the arm side. But when you hit someone glove side and not with a curveball in the back foot, I think everybody starts to wonder. It's one thing if it's a two-seamer that doesn't tail back, but that did not look like a two-seamer that didn't tail. That looked like either a four-seamer or some sort of a cutter that kept going in, and hit Josh Lowe, just sort of as he turned around on the back. And Lowe was not happy. You could see, he glared. I thought he might come charge. There was a moment, I was like, oh, he might. No, all right, he's not going to, but I thought he might. Anyway, he's still kind of upset. He goes over to first base, and you don't think too much of it. Fine, whatever. And then late in the game, as Adrian Hauser is wearing down and they've got a huge lead and it's seventh inning, nobody on, 2 outs, what does he do? He drills Dominic Canzone right in the back. Did he wait for a lefty to do it? I would think so. To make it very clear that he was getting them back. Oh, you want to hit my guy? I'm going to hit one of your guys. And I'm going to hit him right in the back. And I'm going to make sure it's a lefty so that you know I'm serious about this. Good for him. I had no problems with that. That's exactly what kind of expect. And the umpires get together and they end up issuing warnings, which was the right thing to do. Fine. The only thing that was a little odd here is the George Kirby sound later. So, none of that was all that surprising. What do you make of the George Kirby sound? He was asked about hitting Josh Lowe.
It's baseball. Garv called an inside heater. I tried to throw it in and I hit him. Whoops. You can say it's on purpose or whatever, but I just tried to execute a heater inside. So
that's an odd. Now look, let's start here. Let me start here, Lyle. I know you saw this last night and it blew you away. Let's start here. George Kirby just gave up 8 runs in 2 innings on 10 hits. He's not in a good headspace, right? Can we all agree that whatever George Kirby says after this start, he was just pissed off. Mad at himself, mad at the game. His team is slumping. They're falling apart at the seams. He can't help them at all yesterday. If anything, he throws gas on the fire. George Kirby's upset. And now he's got to go out and he's got to talk to the media about it. There is a part of me that says, hey, anything he says, I got to take with a bit of a grain of salt because he's just mad after a bad game. Totally understandable. And if he just says, look, it's a fastball inside, that's where Garver called it. It went too far inside. It hit him. I'm sorry about that. It's not intentional. I don't think we think much about it. But the whoops definitely stands out, right? The whoops is kind of like, wait, did he mean to hit him? Because that's a very sarcastic whoops.
It's baseball. I mean, Garv called an inside heater. I tried to throw it in, and I hit him.
I mean, right there, not a problem, right? That's what happened. Okay.
Whoops.
Changes the entire feeling and connotation of that statement entirely.
I mean, you could say it's on purpose or whatever, but I mean, I just tried to execute a heater inside. So,
Lyle, as our official expert on what it means to say whatever, what does that whatever mean? You could say it's on purpose or whatever.
I think he's definitely upset, and that's a good point. Maybe he just wasn't in a good headspace, and he didn't want to talk to anybody, and he was forced to.
Mm-hmm.
But even that last part too sounds a little odd. Like if you I don't want to misconstrue his words. That's not fair. But it just sounds a little bit like if it was really that unintentional, you just directly say, "Yeah, there was no intent behind that. It was a mistake."
Instead, he certainly leaves the door open to make it feel like maybe he hit him on purpose. And then I got to ask, all right, why? Are you standing up for your teammates and just like, hey, these guys are too close to the plate and I'm done with it? Okay. Are you throwing a temper tantrum because you're getting destroyed? That, to me, is pretty weak. I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but like I'm just going through the options. If you're throwing a temper tantrum, that's not right. You can't hit somebody with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball because you're upset that you're not pitching well. If you think that and maybe there's some history with Josh Lowe. I don't know. I don't know of any. But maybe something happened in the last series or last year or whatever, and he's like, hey, man, we're getting killed here. Now's my opportunity to go take some revenge. Maybe he did some. I don't know the history there. Maybe that's a possibility. But generally, you want your pitchers to do that stuff either because the other team is leaning too far out over the plate and getting too comfortable, or because they've taken some liberty with you in the past. And I don't know that I saw either of those things. So, hey, he knows, no one else. He's the only one that really knows, but certainly the Rays felt like that was out of bounds, or I don't think you see Adrian Hauser come back and hit Dominic Canzone later in the game the way he did. And then at that point, the umps jump in and are like, all right, everybody, cool it out. We're not going to continue this. And by the way, the Mariners can't get into a fight right now. I mean, I like fighting in baseball, but not in September. Come on. You can't get into a fight now. You can't lose crucial guys on your team for any amount of time.
You already don't have one guy.
And he's about to come back, right? One more game, and then I think you get him back. I think it's the second game in Atlanta, right? It was a 7-game suspension. It started very beginning of this road trip, right? So you've played 6. You're going to get one more, and then you get Robles back. They need him, man. I mean, like, he is exactly what this team needs. So, I mean, I do think it'll be helpful to have him back, but that's not been, like, the problem. I'm not sitting there using that as an excuse. That hasn't been like the problem. Yeah, it is weird. It's a weird deal there with Kirby. I don't know what all that is, but you can't afford to get into a fight. You can't afford to go doing that right now. You're scratching and clawing and trying to make the playoffs here. Can't get into a fight. I like it, but guys, I am not anti-fighting in baseball. You know that about me. I love fighting in baseball, but not right now. Not right now. Now, here's a good question. I actually think this is a very interesting one. Could the Rays have been stealing signs, and that's why Kirby was upset? My answer to that question, yes. That could absolutely be what's happening or what happened last night. I was thinking about it as it was going on, and shame on me for not bringing it up as part of this. Great point, 360. They were so on top of everything. Again, to have 10 hits in 2 innings and score 8 runs without the benefit of a home run, that is rare against any pitcher, let alone one who's as good as Kirby. Was he tipping his pitches? Did they have something on him that they figured out and it made him mad? Sure, it's entirely possible. That could absolutely be what happened. Yes. Absolutely.
He was asked about tipping his pitches after the game. He said he didn't think so, that him and Farquhar worked on a couple things to move his glove around throughout the start that he didn't think was the issue, but we'll never know.
I don't think we'll ever know. But I think it's a good question. I think it's a really, really good question. 425 says, of course, Salk's okay with the Rays throwing at us as retaliation, but thinks Robles throwing a bat as attempted murder. What is wrong with you? Are people insane? You know what? I'm not going to address this again. Yes, part of baseball is throwing at each other. No, part of baseball is not throwing a bat at anybody. Grow up. This is pretty simple. All right, I said I'd go around the station. I got distracted more. Come on, you're supposed to keep me on track here. I did get distracted by this whole George Kirby thing, but let's do it. Let's go around the station a little bit because there's some good sound from yesterday and the last couple of days. You want to get away from the Mariners for a couple minutes, talk some Seahawks, and then maybe we'll come back to the Mariners if there's time. Scott Hansen was on yesterday, the host of the Red Zone channel. By the way, Red Zone with some commercials this year. You hear about that?
Boo. Awful.
Don't like it. I don't want to sit here and defend it. It's hard to defend commercials on Red Zone. He's not going to be able to say, however it was 7 hours of commercial-free football starts right now. He's not going to be able to say any of that. There's going to be commercials. Now, they're only going to be 2-box commercials, is what I read. There's only a few of them, and it's a double-box commercial where you get a commercial on one side, game action on the other, with the sound going to the commercial side. But still.
But to add commercials and then I believe raise the price.
Yeah. It just feels dirty, right?
$5 a month and now it's $15.
And you know what, though, Maura? I do kind of understand it, though, because the NFL just doesn't make enough money. And so I do understand that they've got to find a way. Poor guys, poor owners. I feel bad. And so I get it. You got to, if there's a way to add some commercials and some extra cash through Red Zone, they really need to take that because it's unfair. Kind of what's happening in the NFL. Anyway, Scott Hansen was on with Bump and Stacy yesterday, and he sounded pretty positive about these Seahawks.
I think this is the 2024 Sam Darnold actually Sam Darnold. If that is him having unlocked himself at the quarterback position, there's something there. I realize DK's not there anymore. JSN, it's time. And a lot of people think he can be a top-line wide receiver. I don't understand why fantasy drafts and people are as down on Cooper Kupp as they are. The two-handed running back situation is one of the better 1-2 punches in the NFL. And then Macdonald, with a second-year system and being a defensive-minded guy, is going to keep his team in games in a tight NFC West race that I think you could make an argument for all 4 of the teams in the NFC West winning the division this year.
Are the Seahawks always going to get less respect nationally because they're a defensive-minded team? Is it just that simple? I think it is. I think we've talked about all the reasons why nobody's buying this team from around the country, and I honestly think that just might be it. They're a defensive-minded football team with a defensive-minded head coach whose genius is in scheming defense, not offense. And for the most part, that just isn't something people can pay attention to. It's not that interesting to people who aren't a fan of the team. It doesn't involve sexy players like quarterbacks and wide receivers. And so it's just not going to ever garner enough respect. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that for the most part, the Seahawks aren't being taken seriously in the NFC, that you don't see a lot of people thinking they're going to hit the over. But I think they will. I think they're being underestimated. I'm not saying they're a great team. Found myself yesterday, I was going to do this somewhat later, but I was talking to Damon Bruce, who's a radio host or former radio host, does a YouTube show now in the Bay Area, who's good. He's good. And he asked me about the Seahawks and a bunch of different questions. And one of the things that really jumped out to me as I was talking, it kind of like reaffirmed some of my thoughts on them. The Seahawks are going to go somewhere between 7-10 and 10-7, right? I know that's an admittedly vague prediction, but wouldn't you be shocked if their win total was below 7 or above 10? I would be. I'd be pretty surprised. If they only won 5 or 6 games, I'd be pretty surprised. With this defense and Mike Macdonald coaching, and they don't have the quarterback situation isn't bad. It might not be great, but it's not bad. So I would be pretty surprised if they ended up losing more, or winning fewer than 7 games. Winning more than 10, though, that's hard for me to imagine that also.
I mean, If Darnold can look like he looked last year and this defense can look like they looked at the end of last season, it's not hard for me to imagine at least 11.
It'd be hard, but I think they could do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's easier for me to imagine, 11 plus than it is to imagine, 6 or fewer. But for the most part, feel pretty comfortable that they're somewhere in that 7 to 10 range. And my gut tells me 9, but somewhere in that 7 to 10 range feels very much where they're at. And yeah, how Sam Darnold plays is going to be a crucial part of that. But is it the only part? No. It's like what everybody wants to point to, and myself included, quarterback's most important. But, gosh, this is a defensive-minded team. And the defense is going to have to play well. Now, it's not just the defense. It's the offensive line. I don't know how many times we've talked about this, a gazillion. Jaron Reed yesterday asked whether he saw a difference in that offensive line.
Absolutely. Definitely for me, it'll be in the run game. It's a good scheme, a great scheme. They come off the ball. They're really physical. I think that's testament to the offensive line coach's will, too. He's doing a good job coaching those guys up. And, man, like I said in preseason, I was excited to see them play. Now I'm even more excited to see them in game 1.
Well, and I think we're all with him, right? If it wasn't for that second preseason game against Kansas City, I think we'd all be sitting there going, man, I don't know what this is going to look like. Who knows? I don't know that I'd feel as good more about that 11 plus if we didn't see what we saw in that second preseason game from this offensive line. I think you could say whatever you want about Sam Darnold, and we'd all just sit here and go, yeah, but if the offensive line still stinks, it doesn't matter. And we saw an example. We saw proof with our own eyes. We didn't just have to take it on faith. We saw actual proof with our own eyes that they're capable of looking like a really good offensive line. Now, we don't know whether that was real or not. It was preseason, but at least we saw it for the first time in forever with our own eyes and those 268 yards on the ground. And you can say, all right, maybe the offensive line really is there, and I can take Jaron Reed seriously and not think that this is just a, random or not random, but a sort of generic example of, oh yeah, of course the team's better. It's the beginning of the year. Of course everything's going to be great. I kind of believe him. I kind of believe when he says that offensive line looks a whole lot better because we've seen some of it with our own eyes.
Well, Gray Zabel looks like the real deal, and you have Abe Lucas and Charles Cross healthy. I mean, Cross did have a finger injury, but it seems like he's fine, good to go. And then, I heard Shanahan yesterday talking about how John Benton, the new offensive line coach here, is one of the best offensive line coaches in the league. He's worked with him before. We know from being around the Patriots that having one of the better offensive line coaches, Dante Scarnecchia, Bill Belichick actually brought him out of retirement after they lost to the Broncos in the playoffs because he would whip an offensive line into shape in no time. There's a chance that they were right about believing in some of the guys like Anthony Bradford and Jalen Sundell that they already had here and just thinking they needed to be coached up.
They could be. It also might be that what we saw in that game, unfortunately, was a mirage. And once the season gets underway and the bullets are flying for real, it can go back to what we've all seen. So obviously that is going to be a huge question mark and something we're watching.
It's a big test first game.
Huge.
The Niners have lost some things, but I think people still expect that defense to be pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to be fair, the one drive the starters took in the preseason last year with Geno, Grubb, etc., they looked like world beaters, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah, but I think it wasn't just that one drive. Like, that whole game really showed us this commitment to it. And I don't know, again, we saw it with our eyes, but it doesn't make it real forever. You got to do it once everything is live. So we'll see. And you got to do it at home, which for whatever reason was a problem for them. As much as we've been talking about the Mariners' struggles on the road, the Seahawks had all kinds of problems at home last year. And Mike Macdonald says, yeah, we're going to have to get that figured out. He says they've got a plan.
We spent a lot of time studying it, and we're tweakers. We're kind of, we say chasing edges. We're always trying to figure out what's the best way to do stuff. So we're tweaking our away schedule too. We've looked at our home operation from Friday to Sunday as something as different as like, how do we get the guys to eat more frequently? Like, how can we help control that? I mean, we're kind of looking at everything. So there's definitely stuff that we've changed. But it's not like wholesale shifts. I say moving and shaking all the time about, hey, what's just the best for us and this team. So, we're making those decisions all the time, especially at home.
Maybe it's just being a Gen Xer, but hearing the word tweakers kind of jumped out to me there.
No, it hit me too.
Very, very appropriate for playing your home games where the Seahawks do, kind of in that Soto area. A lot of tweakers around, that's for sure. I don't know if you want to be one of the tweakers out on the field. That doesn't seem like a good fit. But I get what he's saying there. And they are going to have to do something because what they did at home last year was problematic. And maybe one of the reasons why it does sound like there are going to be a lot of Niners fans there on Sunday. Yeah, you gotta work on whatever you can. Change your routine, change it up, change how you do it to get yourself ready for these home games because you don't want to do what you did last year. That's a no-no. Let's see. I got one more here. Actually, I got two more from Mike Macdonald. Let me play you this one though. Maura, you brought this up, and I think this is a really this is a good one. This was Jaron Reed talking about Mike Macdonald and things he's done this year to try to get the team a little bit closer together. And Brady was asking Jaron here about these walk and talks. I hadn't really heard much about this.
Stuff that we started doing, like during OTAs and stuff, like walk and talks, like we'll get in just anonymous groups and, you just get to know people. You talk about the way you see things and you get other people's point of views and stuff. And then it just carries on. And believe it or not, the whole shadow boxing ordeals came up and became like a thing in the locker room. So like literally everybody's doing it.
Yeah, and then Brady was asking him more, and essentially what he said is like they would just all go somewhere to get like a small group of people and just go walk around somewhere at the facility and just sit and talk for a little while. It's like a mixer.
Well, yeah, it was designed. He said we've heard a lot about the brotherhood this season, but he did a good job of taking you inside of it. He just said he's never seen so many of the position groups like intermingle as they are right now, and that's because I think because they kind of got forced to pair up. And he was talking. They asked him if he learned something that he didn't already know about someone that surprised him, and he brought up Michael. Like he got paired with Michael Dixon at one point.
It's a good fit.
And they started talking about their competitive nature, and he was like, "I mean, he plays football. Like I knew he was competitive, but I didn't know he was competitive like that." So
that goes back to that whole old idea that we've talked about: is when you are making plays on the field for the person next to you and not just because it's what's called. When you are blocking someone so that your brother doesn't get hit behind you, that's when teams get to be the most powerful. So I love it. I think that was a really nice way of hearing it. And maybe it's just because my kids are, doing their beginning of school orientations the last couple of days and starting for real this morning that, these mixers and getting to know each other games are on my mind. I just like the idea of these guys playing Twister or whatever, just to kind of get to know each other in the clubhouse or in the locker room. All right, that's a little trip around the station and with some George Kirby stuff thrown in there. In looking at the Mariners, I already gave you some stats today. I gave you the stats on their batting average with runners in scoring position. I gave you the numbers on their road ERA. Rather than looking backwards, I'm going to look forwards with Brock next on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside to Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Wow, it's so good to finally be back home.
Is it me, or is it musty?
Oh, damp. Check the bathroom.
Damp!
The basement?
Damp! Wait!
Yeah?
I'm ordering damp bread!
So we don't have to move?
Eliminate damp, musty smells by trapping excess moisture. Get rid of the damp with Damp Rid.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. What about when you want to sell your car, though? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Stacey Rost here, and that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. You can go to the website to see pictures of giant checks for yourself. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're wondering right now. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment because you get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage, no more headaches. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's just that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of murder.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! Been throwing out a lot of numbers so far this morning, Brock. Don't like a lot of them, but I've been throwing them out.
I got one for you. 3-14.
That's a big one.
3-14. Jeez. You like that? I don't know what voice that was.
I don't either. Very angry, though. I appreciate the anger.
It's pain. It's pain.
Yeah.
You know, when I was up in Alaska with those hockey boys, I had a great time. A couple of the Kraken guys. One of their brothers, one of them's already an orthopedic mess. He's in his late 30s. He's had neck fusion. He's stiff as a rod. And we would go from the hot tub to the freezing cold Alaskan lake and back and forth. And I said to the guy, man, you know, your neck pretty stiff. He's like, it's just pain. You know what pain is? Pain just makes you feel alive.
Right.
And I'm like, Yeah, you know what? That's right. These Mariners, they're just making me feel
They're just making you feel alive right now.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way. You may be alone in that regard. I have a feeling our text machine might disagree. I was going with I was really still yesterday thinking and spiraling about that runners in scoring position number. Dead last in the league in batting average with runners in scoring position. And honestly, Brock, when I spent more time researching it, it got worse. Because with nobody on, they're 11th. They hit just fine with nobody on base. You put a runner on first.
Is that batting average?
Batting average.
Yeah.
And generally, I'm not a big batting average guy, but with runners in scoring position, it matters. And when it was like, your hallmark of your philosophy of how things were going to change, and right, then it matters even more. Well, 11th with nobody on, 19th with a runner on first, and then it drops to 30th the moment there's runners in scoring position. And I said it this morning. I'll say it again. I'm not going to kill Edgar for that because I didn't give him a ton of praise at the beginning of the year. I just don't believe strongly in batting coaches having that big of an impact on a team. But when this is the stated philosophy, like, you got to be better than dead last with runners in scoring position.
Yeah. And when the brights get light, you got to show up. And when the moment gets big, you got to deliver.
Yep.
And homeboy, who swept the Mariners right out of Tampa Bay and laughed all the way along, Caminero, what was he? He was 12 of 16 for the series or something ridiculous. 8 of 12 in the series. Big hit after big hit, delivering after delivering. Bases
5 hits yesterday for Yandy Diaz as well.
Yeah.
Of course, we also got to meet Bob Seymour, which was kind of awesome. Big Bob Seymour guy.
Is that the guy from America's Funniest Videos?
That's Bob Sackett. That's Bob. Sackett. Different Bob, but I see the connection.
Sorry, R.I.P.
Do you have a theory? I'm trying to come up with a theory earlier on why that.
By the way, that dude Seymour looks like every big high school offensive lineman trying to play first base.
I just love that guy.
That's exactly what
he doesn't even play first. He plays right field, doesn't he? I thought he was playing right field.
Who was a big guy at first in the later innings?
I thought he was playing right field. I could be wrong. You have to go back and look. Okay. In any event, why do you think that's happening? Is it that pitchers bear down and the Mariners struggle with spin and all that? I don't know. Is it a scouting report thing? I don't know. Is it they get more tense and pressure? Because really that should put more pressure on the pitcher. Your numbers should go up as the situation improves. But in this case, it goes the other way.
You want my philosophy?
Sure.
My thought on it? And I hate to quote John Schneider from the Toronto Blue Jays, but they are the best team in the American League. And it's along his lines of if you make your pitches to these guys, you will get them out. There's enough holes in Eugenio Suarez's swing and Cal's swing and Julio's swing and approach that if you bear down and you make your proper pitches, you can get them out. And I know that's a majority of the Major League Baseball players, but in particular, I think for the volatility of this team and some of the challenges, some of the guys, Randy Arozarena, like if you make your pitches to these guys and your approach is right and you bear down in those moments when, I'm sure pitchers have to do, there's a heightened awareness of their sharpness and their command, you make the pitches, you're going to find ways to get these guys out. And in fact, they're dead last in all of baseball and batting average when the moment's the biggest with the guys on base.
Seymour did play first base. You're right.
And he does look like every JV football offensive lineman.
Freaking love that
they
guy.
Throw over there at first base.
Bring him in stat. They're also 26th in the league in road ERA. That number continues to drop. And ultimately, what does that lead you to? Well, they're currently on pace to win 84 games.
That's right.
Not 90. Not 88 or 86 or, 54%. Yeah. That's 52% of their games. They're on pace to win 84 games, Brock.
People talked about your shirt, by the way.
Huh? No, what about it?
You haven't got much
My
love
kids
for your
got me this shirt. Avery bought this for me.
That's great. I'm just curious. There's
you
no
like
Salk.
the King Gizzard shirt?
It's like when you go away from the Salk stripe.
Yeah.
You have that one, like, I don't know, is that an Adidas golf camo?
Yeah, I do
whatever,
have that. Yeah,
whatever
I might wear that tomorrow.
that thing is. Or this one.
Yeah.
It's loud. It's
King
proud.
Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, man. My kids got this for me. Avery did. I love it. I love it.
Man.
Shout out to Avery.
54%.
But
yeah,
52%, I mean, like, that's not supposed. Right now, 52% gets you into the playoffs. Right now, now it shouldn't. That's absurd, but right now it does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Rangers are on pace to win 83 games. The Astros are on pace to win the division just barely.
By the way, you just opened the door for the Rays, who are now back.
They're back in at 2.5. Yeah.
Yep.
The point is, being okay is enough to get you into the conversation. A hot streak is going to get you back on top. And we know that this team's very capable of just, getting onto one of those hot streaks. Aaron said it last night, for no rhyme nor reason. It just happens. Sometimes this team just goes from playing bad to playing good and back again, and we don't really know why. Yesterday was an odd one, though, man. I got to tell you, yesterday was a confusing game. I mean, the game was over early. The two guys that I feel like most are in most need of rest, JP and Cal, remain in the entire game in a blowout situation.
Well, Cal's DHing, so he's trying to add to his home run list. I mean, if he's playing behind the plate, I totally get it. He's got a couple more at bats. He wants to try to add on, and JP's probably got to get right. I mean, he's just in.
He's got to get right by continuing.
Horrific slump.
I don't know, man. You ever have a problem with your golf swing and you're at the range and you're like, the only thing that's going to save this is to stop hitting, to walk.
Are
away.
you ever at 9 holes at the home course? And you're
right.
so bad.
You're just like, I'm going to walk away.
You just pick up your bag.
It is not a situation where just continuing to hit your way out of it. Like sometimes you got to walk away. He seems exhausted to me, and yet at the end of the game, it's Rivas playing third and Gino moving across the diamond. I know Luke Raley had a little tweak, but I don't. All of that surprised me. I don't know. They said it was he was the one getting rest. Like, all right, but not JP and not getting Harry Ford in the bat last night. All of it was just confusing. And look, Brock, I wrote last night. I think it's up this morning about the whole 162 battles thing. I've been thinking a lot about 162 battles and whether or not that is the right approach or not. And even Dan said at the beginning, there's a balance there.
No, but you're right. I think there is a balance there at times, and I think as a manager, as a coaching staff. You do need to think long term at times as well, and that's where the balance comes in. That's where the trickiness of a long 162 game season comes in. But I don't think we can lose that mentality each and every night we go out there. That's how we have to take the field. Our guys did that so well towards the end of the year last year, and hopefully that's what we're going to continue to try to do. Considering all the long term effects, no doubt. But each time you take the field, you got to be ready to go to battle, and that's what the guys have done.
So he's not saying 100 every single game is the end of the world, but I do find myself thinking about the philosophy of 162 battles and whether or not it can work in a game and in an era where in all sports people are taking much more of a long-term approach to everything with load management and all the things that are done throughout sports in the modern day. And I found myself thinking, Brock, about your favorite word from the spring training conversation with Dan, and that was grace. And some of the differences between grace and accountability.
Yep.
And I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong, but I do think that life is all about a balance, just like Dan just said. And I think it's fair to at least wonder if we've drifted too far from one side to the other as the same lineup goes out there every single day. I think those are real
they're
questions.
all fair questions. And when you're 32-40 on the road in the midst of a horrific road slump, and now your run differential is getting near 500, your record's getting back near 500, all of these things do come into question. I'll say this, over the final 22 games, Julius Jones, I would sure love to see a heightened battle with runners in scoring position. So you're not dead last in the league looking up at the Chicago freaking White Sox in anything. I would like a heightened battle in that mentality when it's most important, when you've got to find a way to drive guys in, and they're certainly not doing it on the road over these last 17 games.
Absolutely. All right, Brock, there you go. You want some King Gizzard just for you? Just since you were excited about the King
Gizzard. It's a band?
It's a little King Gizzard for you.
Oh, I didn't even know it's a band.
It's a band.
King Gizzard and the Wizard?
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Oh, King Gizzard and the
I remember
Lizard
I went to go see them last year
That's
about this
right.
time. I went to
Punk
go see them
rock?
at the Gorge.
Are they punk rock?
They play a lot of different styles.
Demographic of the audience?
You made me roll in some of this last year in the music video. It looked like hippies dropping acid or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. It was fun, man. They were a really good show. They play a lot of different styles. A lot of. I think if I had to put it all into one, I guess I would say psych rock, but man, there's a lot of variation in there. Just a little King Gizzard for you this morning. All right, we'll come back with everything you need to know, and then Brock, I've been girding my loins since yesterday for Greg Olsen.
Best behavior, Salk.
Join us in 20 minutes. I'm going to be on my best behavior. It's Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports on 710.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like, when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts start flying. They better re-sign him.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Well, we all know we love the fall because football is in the air, and so it is a great time to reset your workouts. On New Stuff and Top Fitness, they've got great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here. And working out in your home gym, I've told you guys this for years, it is the very best. And my friends over there at Top Fitness, from flooring to everything else that goes in that home gym, treadmills, ellipticals, strength training systems, they've got you covered. They represent the very best brands available, including Washington's very own Precor. How cool is that? The company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions. You know what? They'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. Right now, get 0% interest financing and mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everybody, from personal trainers to pro athletes, love Top Fitness. They got locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Your time is money. Stop wasting it in I-5 gridlock. Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Hey, homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
As a scientist, I can tell you that Sundays are only 24 hours long. But with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you get every game every Sunday all in one place. That's upwards of 30 hours of NFL in one day. How can there be 30 hours in 24 hours, you ask? I have a theory. Magic. New users get NFL Sunday Ticket for 8 payments of $34.50 per month. Sign up at NFLSundayTicket.com. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games and commercial use. Terms and embargoes apply. Availability varies.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets. Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Since our start in 1976, the 12s have grown louder. And our dreams have soared higher.
Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champion.
But we're not done. We're ready to stack more wins.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
To show the impact of 12 as one.
Nobody has left this place. It is pandemonium in the stand.
And create moments no one will ever forget. The 50th season starts now. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, it's not getting a whole lot better right now for the Mariners on this road trip. They are swept out of Tampa last night. They got their doors blown off again. This time, starting pitching, really the culprit. George Kirby did not have it. Gives up 8 runs in just 2 innings. Not easy to do without allowing a home run, but he managed. 10 hits, a couple of them to Andy Diaz. He set a career high with 5 on the night. But it wasn't just him, or it wasn't just Caminero. There has been a streak of guys you don't know a lot about doing a lot of damage against this team. One of them was this guy Fiducia last night.
On the way, swinging a line drive up the middle into center field for a base hit. Caminero will score. Low rounding third, heading home. He's going to score. Round to third goes Mangum. 2 more runs are in, and the Rays now lead it 8-0.
Yeah, the fiduciary doing his job last night. He had 2 RBI hits. The whole thing was just kind of a mess, Brock.
I think it's kind of on you, Salk. Hunter Fiducia is a 6'1", 215-pound catcher out of Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
He's in his 2nd season. He played at LSU. I mean, I think it's kind of on you. Everybody knows Fiducia. He loves focaccia bread, and he loves taking on George Kirby and the Mariners. He got a couple big knocks yesterday. You really don't know Fiducia? I remember watching him in the College World Series. You don't remember him?
You joking?
Yes.
Are you being serious? What's going on with you this morning?
Did I pull it off decently?
Not really. I mean, kind of, but not that
the
well.
focaccia bread for Fiducia.
That was maybe
really
too much.
Funny.
Yeah, that's kind of where you got me.
You know what else is too much, Salk? A 4.47 ERA and a 1.21 WHIP. That is what old George is sitting at right now, 130 innings into this sucker.
And like a couple weeks ago, it looked like he was turning the corner and was going to be vintage George again. And then yesterday, they knew every pitch it looked like he was going to throw, and they just hit it right back. I mean, I think it's a fair question, and it's a question that maybe leads to whether or not is that why he hit Josh Lowe? Because that was sure looked to be on purpose. He said it wasn't intentional, but barely. This is what he said afterwards.
It's baseball. I mean, Garb called the inside heater. I tried to throw it in, and I hit him. Whoops. I mean, some say it's on purpose or whatever, but I mean, I just tried to execute a heater inside. So.
I mean, look, he's probably upset after giving up 8 runs yesterday, so I don't know whether I want to take too seriously anything he says, but did he hit him on purpose? Maybe it was because he felt like they were tipping. Who the heck knows?
It's one of the rare words, by the way, that looks as good as it sounds.
Whoops.
When you read whoops in a presser and then you hear it, it's actually...
You know exactly what it means?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, Astros win. Yankees just totally implode in the 8th. I saw Taylor Trammell take a huge walk as part of that rally. Kansas City lost. Red Sox lost Roman Anthony for the rest of the regular season. Texas was shut out by the D-backs. Dylan Moore taking the last step out of that game. He grounded out. So Mariners now 4 back in the division. Still a game and a half up in the wild card, 2.5 up on both Kansas City and Tampa.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
First official practice report of the season's out. Looks pretty good for the Seahawks, Brock. Only a couple players on it, and all of them participated at least in some way. Torrey Horton a full go. Chenna Nwosu, Jake Bobo, Derek Young, and Cody White, all partial participants.
Yeah, a bunch of receivers.
And Tyrese Knight wasn't even on the injury report.
Yep. I mean, it's as good as it gets, but half your receiving core is on that, so going to have to figure out is a kind of ramp up from limited to hopefully full participant by the end of the week. You're right, it's not JSN, it's not Cooper
It's
Kupp.
the bottom of your receiving core. The bottom half. It's not the top half, it's the bottom half. Cooper Kupp and JSN aren't on there, right?
True.
And so that's, good
And how
news.
about no real big body guy other than Uchenna? That's pretty darn impressive for this time of the year. San Fran had a lengthier one. They had some guys that did not participate, but most of their dudes you're going to see. And most of them, the Kittles and the McCaffreys and the Williams, are all going to be probably feeling better than they will at any point the rest of the season come Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, pretty good matchup, too. Mike Macdonald and, Kyle Shanahan matching wits. Here's what Mike said about his opponents.
Well, he just does a great job of keeping you off balance. They deploy their people different than probably any other team. So that's something that you have to focal point of how you focus on them. People don't do conventional things out of their respective formations. I mean, McCaffrey's a great use check. Those guys are great examples of when they had Debo, great examples of how they use their people in unorthodox manners, But he does a great job. I mean, the stats prove it. The tape proves it. The disciplined club. They play tough. They play physical. They do a lot of great stuff.
And on the other side, Kyle Shanahan knows what he's preparing for in Mike Macdonald.
Play calling to a degree. To me, it's just how he runs his whole scheme. I mean, they got a threat of everything. I mean, it's a sound defense and how it starts out. Real hard to get big plays on. When you say sound and hard to get plays on, that usually sounds real conservative, which it is in those areas, but they also know how to put pressure on you. He does a good job calling his blitzes. He times them out right, does good ones to stop the run, good ones to stop the pass, and is a Rolodex of coverages, so it's always hard to get a beat.
Yeah, Lyle, you know what a Rolodex is? Just checking.
Shocker, no.
Just checking.
Hey, just don't check in with Lyle, okay?
He's too upset today.
He burned his cords up last night with that guttural roar.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
NFL starts tonight. Hopefully Lyle can rebound for it. Philly and Dallas from Philadelphia Eagles going to unveil their banner. CeeDee Lamb is here to watch.
No, I'm going to watch it. Shout out them for that. Shout out Jay, because I still got brothers over there. You know what I'm saying? It's not really anything personal, but it's something that I'm chasing. So,
what do you want to watch?
Motivation.
He wants to watch for motivation, Brock, but Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Eagles, doesn't even know what's happening.
Yeah, I didn't know it was banner night.
Okay.
We won't be out for that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you didn't even know. You didn't even know, Brock. Didn't even know.
Sure.
You have anything to say
Like
about
Sirianni?
that?
You like Sirianni?
I don't really think about him one way or another. No. You?
I'm kind of torn. There's things I do like. Those tiers a couple years ago were pretty real before the Super Bowl, and I like that he's kind of humble enough to surround himself with really good people and then let them do their thing. But yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't even know we were doing the banner. Come on. That doesn't make any sense. That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here in the Brock and Salk Show. Hawks Live back for another season. You can join Bump and Paul Moyer tonight, 7 p.m. at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and a preview of this week's game and a visit from Gray Zabel, the rookie first-round pick right off the bat. That is tonight at 7 o'clock at Bellevue Square Center Court. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events. I promised, Brock, I would be on my best behavior, and I will. I will.
If you're not,
I just will.
If you're not, well, I'm just saying, if you're not, I might yell at you like Lyle yelled at the audience last night.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't
think
dare.
I might.
I won't give you a reason to. I will be on my best behavior.
Good tight end matchup in this one.
Did you see
Salky.
that big? Did you see that big deep breath?
Uh-huh.
Greg Olsen joins us next on Brock and Salk.
Touchdown,
Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Well, you got to get over to the new Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. They have done such a beautiful job with the new hotel and everything that's in it. There's a huge new entertainment space and convention center. The list of concerts is going to be out soon, and it is going to be great. The spa was tremendous, super relaxing. And then you get into where all the views are. I'm talking about the beautiful rooms and suites. I'm talking about the incredible indoor-outdoor pool complex. And then the new sports bar is just tremendous. Probably the best I've seen anywhere in the area. Just huge and beautiful, and the view, just the whole thing. The food was great. Go to snocasino.com to learn a whole lot more. Again, Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
And now, tales of another way. How long can one go on with the same scent of shower soap? Sure, sandalwood is your signature aura, but today you went tropical essence. Glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Tolling begins September 29th. Save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Learn more at goodtogo509.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing. Mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, experience the power of choice. Whether you're cruising in a fuel-sipping Prius, tackling trails in a rugged Tacoma, hauling with the mighty Tundra, or commuting in comfort with the Camry or RAV4, your perfect Toyota is waiting. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, the power of choice is yours. Visit their incredible team and beautiful showrooms today or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in from every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are back next week for a 7-game homestand, including a 3-day Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway Monday to Wednesday against the Cardinals. Plus, all 3 games are Mariners value games, which means you can score seats for as little as $11. Get your tickets today at Mariners.com. This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we're getting ready for Seahawks and Niners on Sunday. Greg Olsen will be on the call for Fox TV, and he's kind enough to join us right now. Greg, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Thanks, guys. Good to be on.
How do you prep for game number 1, Greg? Do you look at this preseason tape? Do you go back to the 2 matchups last year between the Niners and Seahawks? What is your methodology to get ready for number 1?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think week 1 is always, very similar to when you're a player, very similar to what these coaches and players are going through. It's kind of a mix of everything, right? You go back and you look at, what did the teams do well last year? Where were some of their sticking points at different parts of the season? Where was the evolution? Where was the growth? And you have to say, okay, that the areas in which they saw big progress last year, let's continue to focus that. You have to imagine they're going to try to carry that into this season, right? So with Seattle, it's all right, the growth of the defense, kind of post that Ernest Jones trade, the defense started to look a little bit more like what you're used to seeing out of Mike Macdonald and the way he wanted to bring that style of defense from Baltimore. That wasn't really, it didn't look that way earlier in the year, and it much more so looked like that at the end of the year, right? So you start there. You look at the preseason, you say, okay, who are the new faces, the draft picks, the new additions. Preseason nowadays is very complicated because both from a schematic standpoint and a personnel standpoint, it's not going to look a whole lot like what we're going to see on Sunday of week 1. So I think it's personnel. I think it's track record. You study Clint Kubiak and you say, okay, what led Kubiak in New Orleans last year to take the league by storm? Through the first 2 weeks, they scored on their first 15 offensive possessions. Then what changed in New Orleans, and what can you expect to be the carryover? So you really go personnel. You say, trends from last year to this year. So it's really a mixed bag, and it's a difficult task for everybody.
So who will you focus on from a Seahawks perspective?
Well, I think the easiest person in that whole conversation, of course, is Sam Darnold, right? I think Sam, the free agent, signing this year. We all saw the year he had last year with Kevin O'Connell out in Minnesota. I thought it was a really good hire by Macdonald to bring in Kubiak. It's a style in which I think we've seen Sam play well, a little bit more under center, more play action, less of the drop back stuff that we saw in the passing game last year with Geno and the Seahawks offense last year. So I think it all starts and stops with Sam offensively. Jackson Smith and Jigba, can he ascend to that number 1 role without DK and Tyler Lockett? So offensively, I think there's a lot of new faces that are going to garner the vast majority of the storylines. And frankly, if I'm a Seahawks fan, that's where the bulk of my interest is earlier in the year, because I think defensively, this Seahawks defense, if they can stay healthy, I think this Seahawks defense has the chance to be a top 5, top 7 defense by the end of the season. I think schematically, and then with Macdonald, and I think personnel-wise, I think they're really good.
So help me understand the last part, because I tend to agree with you that they're going to be a really good defense, but I was doing a guest spot of my own yesterday in San Francisco, and the host was like, all right, well, why are they going to be so good? And when you start going through the names, there's not a lot of real star players. They don't have a star edge rusher that everybody in the league knows and a sack master. Like, what is it that tells you this defense would be that good?
Well, partially, I think, because of the improvement we saw last year. So I had them in Week 11. I called that Seahawks 49ers game last year in Week 11. And, just going back and looking at my notes and looking at some of the things that I had prepped, for that game last year, all the questions were, it's not the style of defense that Macdonald is used to running. It was a lot more single high safety. They were a lot more susceptible to play action downfield passing. And it was everything opposite of what Macdonald's teams were, especially in his time in Baltimore. Two high safeties, did a great job playing high to low, no real big plays allowed, and really control the game with his front. And I think, obviously I'm not telling you guys something you don't know. The linebacker situation last year, letting Bobby go, kind of moving on there. Until they really made the change of the two off-ball backers, and the big one being with the trade with Ernest Jones coming from Tennessee, it felt like they finally got that second level figured out and then allowed the coverage to fall into place. I think they add DeMarcus Lawrence this year as a good depth piece who, prior to being injured last year, is as good, especially as a run defender, as any defensive lineman we've seen in the last couple of years. I think Boye Mafe is a really good young edge player that can get after the passer. Leonard Williams, a premier interior defensive lineman. Witherspoon's as good of a safety inside and out as there is in the league. I think they've got some experience at safety. So when you start going piece by piece, I think what we're seeing around the league is you don't have to have one star. You can have a lot of really good depth pieces, a lot of really good starting caliber defenders. And with the right coach and a guy like Macdonald, who's proven to be a defensive architect at a high level, that is really the recipe for playing consistent ball. You don't need to pin all the hopes of the success of that unit on one or two guys' shoulders. And I think that's actually a benefit.
The voice will be in the booth with my buddy Joe Davis this Sunday afternoon with the Niners and the Seahawks kicking it all off there at Lumen Field. Did you get a chance, Greg, in your career to see Sam Darnold pre-2024? And I know you guys saw him last year. And if so, did you see a metamorphosis?
Yeah, and listen, I think a lot of the credit has to go to Sam. I think it's easy to sit here and say, he had Justin Jefferson and he had Addison and he had Kevin O'Connell, and all those things are true. But I think you have to give Sam, first and foremost, a lot of the credit for the turnaround. It was not an easy start to his career in New York, and then obviously his time in Carolina didn't go, and kind of found new life and was given an opportunity with O'Connell to kind of start a new chapter of his career, and obviously more than made up for it. I think when you look at and this is what I imagine Kubiak and Macdonald are looking at as they kind of put this thing together since they signed Sam, is, okay, let's look at what did Kevin O'Connell do with Sam that made him so successful? And yes, throwing to Justin Jefferson certainly helps, but it was under center. It's play action. It's staying out of drop back passing downs. It's using first and second down in the passing game to try to generate explosives downfield. That's where Sam was at his best. He's a very accurate downfield passer. Stay out of those third downs. Stay out of shotgun drop back pass when the defense can dial up their best pass pressures and their most elaborate coverage disguises. Stay out of that. And that's not, and frankly, that's not unique to Sam. That's of the 32 NFL teams every weekend, 27, 28 of them are probably playing with that set of rules. There's a handful of guys in the league that can stand back and shotgun and operate in a passing situation for the bulk of the game. That there's very few of those guys, and everyone else you can see around the league is kind of trying to play by the same formula. So I think Kubiak's job, which is very much what his pedigree is from his time with Shanahan and obviously all the way back to his time with his father, is more downhill run game, more under center run game. Get Kenneth Walker going north and south, not so much side to side with all the negative runs and the negative losses they took last year. Get him under center, downhill run game, early down play action, throw the ball downfield, and really stress the secondary before you get to third and passing downs. And I think that's the strength of Sam. I think that's the tendencies of Kubiak as a play caller. So it does make a lot of sense why they've tried to marry the two of them together this offseason.
What do you make of a roster that has 5 tight ends, a fullback, and 3 wide receivers that may have made the team because of their blocking?
Well, the 5 tight ends part I love. So I would say Schneid's is doing a great job in the talent acquisition of tight ends. But listen, if anyone who's watched Kubiak's teams, anyone who watched his father, anyone who understands the tree he comes from, and then obviously just as recently as what he did last year in New Orleans, they're going to introduce 2-back sets. They're going to be in I formation. They're going to be in 2 tight end, 2-back. Like, that is a big staple of this style of system. And, you think back to his time at San Francisco and even before that with Shanahan and Houston, it's very tried and true what they want to be. Now, do they have Juszczyk? Do they have a guy like Kittle and a Juszczyk who really can be those hybrid, you're in 21 personnel with 2 backs, but then you're in 12, then you're in 11 formations and you don't really have to sub? I don't know how many teams have those types of personnel guys, but from a philosophical standpoint, they're going to be an I formation. They are going to run the ball downhill on early downs. Everything they're doing is to win early downs so that they can be in 50-50 neutral. I could pass, I could run. I don't have to be in 11 personnel, and I don't have to drop back out of the shotgun and throw the ball downfield on every third down. That's Kubiak. I think that's what Macdonald wants to be the complement to the way he's building this defense. And frankly, that's Sam Darnold. That's when Sam's at his best. So I think they're smart. The personnel has to match. The roster has to match the style of play, and both sides of the ball have to match the style of the other. And I think this version of Seattle is a lot closer than when I had them earlier in the year last year before they kind of started putting it together down the stretch.
And Greg, I think when you go back to your time playing, I think those years you've covered the Seahawks from the booth, I think there's been kind of one constant. Certainly in sports media, it's been a constant. That has been the struggle of the group on the offensive line, whether that was some veteran guys, whether that was money spent, whether that was the lack of development, whatever it was, it just has not been effective really for the last decade. Game 2 of this preseason, 48 carries, 268 yards, moving people like we've not seen moved in any preseason game, nor regular season game really for the Seahawks. When you look at the personnel now on this offensive line with a healthy Abe Lucas, Gray Zabel at left guard, Sundell at center, do you think this could be actually a strength rather than just a continual weakness?
I do, and I think obviously and you just said it. I think a big issue they've had, especially at the tackle positions, where there's no question that Charles Cross can play. There's no question that Lucas can play. Like, it's really been a matter of how consistently are they in the lineup together, and that unit operating as a five cohesive every week, same combination in the same system, and really getting a feel for what they're being asked to do. So I think there's just the baseline health that every team is fighting, especially at the offensive line nowadays, where it's hard to field 5 competent offensive linemen, let alone have the depth to get into 7, 8, 9, so on and so forth. And we see that narrative play out all across the league. I think the rookie, Zabel at center out of North Dakota State, I think he's a really good young player. I think they have high hopes of him, obviously taking him where they did in the draft. They think that he can be a staple there, kind of solidifying them for the long haul. But I think the second element to it all is they got to get some consistency in what they're being asked to do schematically. I think what they were asked to do last year was when it was 2/3 pass. It was a lot of shotgun. Obviously that was Gino's specialty, was throwing the ball. Like, that is a very big stressor on a healthy, good offensive line, let alone one that's dealing with some moving parts. So I think getting under center, I think being able to get more of an early play action game and run game, use those 2 backs. I think all of that, everyone talks about what that will do for Sam Darnold and the quarterback, but it's really just as much, if not a bigger impact on the offensive line. There are very few offensive lines in the league that can be in shotgun drop back pass for 2/3 of the game. It's very difficult in today's modern NFL with the way these guys can pass rush and disguise coverages and blitzes. So I think schematically they will be helped a lot by what Kubiak asks them to do in the passing game. And then I think, of course, the nature, can they stay healthy? Can they keep the 2 tackles on the field together? if they could accomplish those two things, I don't think there's any reason why the expectation shouldn't be that that unit is significantly improved.
Last two really quick ones here, Greg. Is it true that Arroyo is going to be so critical in finally tipping the scales back to Miami being tight end U and not Iowa?
Well, it's a great question. I don't think there's any question. Listen, I love my Iowa guys. Kittle's a buddy. I mean, they've got some real dudes that have come out of there. You'll never be able to convince me ever that Miami is not always and will not always be tight end U. So I hope he plays awesome. I think he's a really talented player. I hope they find a way to get him involved early in the year, break off some of that rookie rust and break off some of that apprehension that all young players have entering the league. But I would love nothing more than another Miami tight end to kind of sit at the top of the rankings across the league like we were for so long, all the way back to Bubba and Shockey and Winslow and all the way down the line, Jimmy Graham. So I would love nothing more for him to be that guy. But I have this argument with my Iowa and my Notre Dame guys all the time. There's one TEU, it's Miami. And everyone else produces some really great players, don't get me wrong. But the run we had of not only great college players, but then great NFL players is pretty, in my opinion, unmatched.
What is the tight end general consensus these days on Travis Kelce? Is there jealousy over the Taylor engagement, or is it more of a, hey, he's really bringing up the national
aura, Salk.
Yeah, the entire aura of the tight end and the way people view tight ends.
Yeah, there's no question our aura, as my kids like to tell me I have none of. There's no question the aura of the tight end position has greatly elevated over the last couple of years for a lot of reasons. Obviously on the field, off the field. I don't know if anyone at any position is matching the run Travis is on. It's a pretty impressive series of events here. But I think, all seriousness, like anyone that knows Travis, anyone that's been around him, like there's no jealousy. The amount of respect he has for what he's done in his career, the way he handles himself off the field, the way he treats people. We spend every week, we spend a week together every summer out in Nashville for TEU, and him and Taylor are both there, and they couldn't have been more warm. They couldn't have been more, part of the group and just wanted to hang and get to know people and like genuinely be interested in meeting all of our families and kids. So like all of that is who Travis has been since I met him 15 years ago. And none of that has changed in this new kind of world he's living in. I think that's just a testament to who he is and the type of guy he is. And I think all the tight ends love elevating the platform of the tight end position. Is high tide raises all ships, and I think we're seeing that happen right now in a lot of ways.
Wow. Salky, I had a chance to go to TEU this year. Wow, I could have had a chance to see Travis.
You could have seen Taylor, Brock. Maybe you would have found out that she's still popular, despite your suggestion that her popularity was waning a few months ago. Turns out she's still kind of a big deal.
Since I turned down the invitation, or I asked, since I turned that down, Greg, because of my daughter's wedding, is there still any shot that I can sneak in the back door next year, next summer? Possible?
Yeah, that invite stands. We got some big things we're not quite ready to announce. We got some big new plans for TEU, so that event is going forward. It should be super exciting, and I think when you hear what we got brewing, you'll be pumped. So yes, that invite still stands. How's everything going in the coaching world?
Solid, Greg. Solid
Wait, you're
start.
Coaching? How come you never bring it up?
Why don't you watch your mouth? We got this little buzzer that they love to play every time I bring up.
That's so weird. I didn't realize you'd even taken a job as a coach.
Yeah, thanks,
really?
Yeah.
How come you really should mention that?
It's the only thing I really care about. Tell me, it's my whole life. I got my second middle school game, so I coach.
Yeah,
I coach my kids' middle school game. They can buzz us all they want, Brock. I don't care. It's like the center of my life. Like I always joke with my NFL crew. I'm like, I'll be prepared for our game this weekend, but nothing gets in the way of my middle school prep. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah. It's so fun working with the kids. How's it going?
It's just unbelievably fun. I'll text you a clip, and Probably the proudest dad moment I've had yet.
He hasn't seen it yet? The 2 million plus people that have seen Brock's son destroy some poor safety?
You're going to look at it and you're going to say, have him stop playing quarterback and transition to tight end.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. I'll shoot it your way here in just a second. He is a hair under 6'6" and about 200, 205. Yeah.
And what grade is he in?
He's a sophomore. He is a sophomore.
He's a 6'6" sophomore?
Yeah. He's about done, though. I think height-wise, hopefully he's about done. But you're going to see this.
You don't want to be much bigger than that. But
yeah, you're going to
there's a lot of money to be made if he just moves. He moves a couple spots to the right or left. So you can make a lot of money at 6'6".
Yeah. I think you're going to see tight end in this little video. I'll send you here.
All right, we got to run. Greg, thank you, and we'll watch on Sunday. And appreciate you coming by.
Thank you, Greg.
I appreciate it. Yeah, take care, guys.
All right,
have a good one.
There you go. There's Greg Olsen, Brock, and as promised, I think I delivered on my promise. Thank you. All right, let's do a real quick version of Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Since I knew I couldn't say anything to him, I just decided to take out all of my feelings on you during those 20 minutes. Sorry about that. You became the unwitting victim.
I know.
I'm sorry about that. That's that's the best I could do. That's all I could do. All right, we got to be very quick here. I'm sorry. Okay. 3 minutes or less, Brock. 1 minute apiece. What will be an under the radar stat that will define the outcome on Sunday?
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult one because it's not traditional, Salt. This is not, hey, looking for yards and attempts and what have you. With the 2 quarterbacks' legs, you just heard Greg talk about how much Sam is going to be under center, and he is. And I'm not asking, it's not going to be like, ooh, who runs for more yards? In fact, the Seahawks, the only game they've beaten Brock Purdy, he's beaten him 4 or 5 times in his 5 starts. The only game they beat him, he ran for 8 for 40 and a touchdown. So from a traditional statistical number, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about what your eyes will see and my eyes will see, and that is, ooh, this guy's legs extended that play. Oh, he did convert a 3rd down. Oh, he did move and just get out of trouble. Just the movement ability, which defense can really cloud that up, can get to the quarterback, can create negative plays, and which QB gets out of those and does so, Salk, with some of their athleticism, some of their legs. I think that will be a critical factor Sunday afternoon.
All right, question number 2. Out there are quite proclamations, but any bold predictions about UW, Brock?
Yeah, I think Jonah Coleman, the running back, is going to be a Doak Walker finalist, and I think Damon Williams has a chance to be newcomer of the year. Yeah, I just looked at the whole running back class, and unlike last year where there were so many dudes, I talked about this on my little dog talk with Brock that I taped yesterday and is out on YouTube. You can find it. Last year had so many different flavors, Baskin-Robbins, right? And they were all over the draft from the 1st to the 7th round as far as running backs. This year is not like that. Jonah Coleman's got a chance. Kid out of LSU is Studley, but he's got a chance to really cement his name as one of the best runners in the game. Off to a good start, 24, 177, and 2 tuds. He's going to get the ball a bunch versus UC Davis. Yeah, keep an eye on Jonah Coleman and his ascension this season.
All right, question number 3. Odds out for rookie offensive player of the year and defensive player of the year. Any Seahawks there?
Well, Arroyo and Horton both 100 to 1, so long shots. Okay. Long shots, probably not
hard to win as a tight end.
It is. I was curious to see if Eamon Wari would crack the top 10. Would he be in the top 10 of odds? No. And again, I think kind of hard because how many reps is he going to get? How many chances is he going to get on the ball? But I'd keep an eye on him. And at 40 to 1, I think he was 19th of all rookies at 40 to 1. I don't know. We'll see. He gets some sacks. He gets a pick. He starts to make a name for himself. It won't be the overall stat line. It'll be just the influence and maybe some of those highlight reel plays that could get his name going. But more than likely, going to be tough for any rookie to make that kind of a claim this year.
All right, there you go. That is a short version of today's Blue 88. Good stuff. A lot of text messages, unsurprisingly, during that. Salk hitting Brock with all the vitriol he's holding back from Greg.
Exactly right. Yeah,
wait, right. Brock's coaching? Yes, he is. Unsurprising.
Salk, how funny would that have been? Had tied in you been the week before Haley's wedding?
Would have been impressive.
I would have gone to it.
That would have been great. You missed out.
You've seen pictures of me and
should have gone anyway.
Taylor.
Kind of blew it.
Oh, really?
Salk, ask Greg which touchdown reception was his favorite while in Seattle, then pause. That's not nice.
So
See, I just wouldn't do something like that. I am a gentleman, and I respect my co-host.
And his
too much for
analysis
that.
is really, really good.
Speaking of gentlemen, I'm sure everyone will be this week gentlemanly, ladylike, as they leave us messages for Here's the Thing. We'll see what you guys came up with next. I'm Rock and Salk.
Touchdown Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
It's the biggest car giveaway in the Northwest. We're giving away 30 cars in 30 days, September 1st through 30th. Mustang Madness at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. Get one free entry daily. Earn additional entries just by playing your favorite games. Drawings every day at Tacoma and Fife. It's 30 cars in 30 days in September. Mustang Madness, only at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. The entertainment capital of the Northwest, where excitement lives. Visit emeraldqueen.com for details.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So how do you get the most money for your used car without having to sell it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay you right up front for it, but it gets way better. Once they resell your old car, they share half that profit with you. The question I get most from friends and colleagues is, well, what's the catch? How can they offer offer this? It's actually super simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auctions, like purchase fees, shipping, and travel expenses, is what allows them to offer this. They'd rather share that money they save with you rather than outside vendors. They encourage you to shop around, but look, if Wayscar Ford can pay the same or more as competitors and then share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you sell your car anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with their customers, and it's only at Wayscar Ford. WayscarFord.com. Check them out today, WayscarFord.com.
Hundreds of vehicles on the ground, 8 dealerships, 14 brands, all in one location. Visit West Hills Autoplex. We have more brands in one location than anywhere else in Washington State, import or domestic, new or pre-owned. We make finding your perfect vehicle easy, and that means a remarkable car buying experience for you. Skip the hassle with West Hills' streamlined buying experience and feel confident buying from your neighborhood family-owned dealerships. West Hills Autoplex, Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3, Bremerton.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
It is Thursday. It is 8 o'clock, and I think you know what that means, Brock. It's when we turn things over to you guys. You've been leaving us messages throughout the week by using the Seattle Sports app, which you got to download. I'm sure you have by now. And then you can leave us a message. Maura puts them all together. We call it Here's the Thing.
Brock Heward doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, let's see what the people have for us today. It sounds like we've got a couple of songs today. People like the music choices today.
People have said, including Big Boss Lady, this has become our favorite segment of the week.
Really?
Yep.
Big Boss Lady's out of town, though.
Is she?
Yeah, I think she's playing Pebble.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
Okay.
A little jealous, not going to lie. I think she's down playing Pebble today. Let's see what Joe has to say.
This is Joe in Boise. Here's the thing. I'm calling to add some more high school mascots from the Pacific Northwest to the discussion from last week. Here in Idaho, we have two. One, the Kuna Cavemen. They're named the Cavemen because there's a cave system named Kuna. But the most notable part is Cavemen is spelled with a K. Because if you have a high school, you want to misspell the name of your mascot on purpose. We also have the Orofino Maniacs, who are named the Maniacs because a state mental institution is near Orofino.
Good.
And finally, in Richland, my hometown, but not my high school, the Richland Bombers are named the Bombers because the atomic bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki was manufactured outside Richland.
I knew two of those three.
Wow.
Hope Solo, by the way, Richland.
I knew that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I watched the documentary on your urging.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, none of those were that bad. The Caveman with a K thing. Yeah, that was a bit much. Here's Jared.
The thing. I've never heard of Darren Aioli or Damon Ravioli or whatever his name is. But Salk saying that there's not bad traffic in Seattle just because, LA has bad traffic. Come on, man. You're probably the most tone, especially at this time of year to be making that take. You've got to be the most tone deaf, inept at reading the room person I've ever listened to.
You said you don't always read the room really well,
Yeah.
right?
Well, people here get very upset about things like that. Oh, the potholes. Oh, this. Oh, that.
Yeah,
so whiny.
We'll close down. I find.
So whiny.
Oh, yeah. You're not whiny when it actually affects you.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect me. Build your life so it doesn't affect you.
No, what I'm saying is it's okay for you to whine, but not other people.
Well, yeah, obviously. I think I've made that pretty clear over 16 and a half years. Of course it's okay for me to whine and not other people. Duh. Oh, we got a song from Danny.
Here's the thing. Last week, I sang a country song that Salk would like. This week, I thought it would only be fair to do a version for Brock.
Thank you.
When I wake up, I grab my Bible and my pigskin. I know that my team will win. Spend my days dreaming of yesteryear when the Lord's voice comes out loud and clear. I love football and Jesus. Woo! Jesus, the football. I go back to the football field, wishing I knew how my teammates feel. One last time.
Are those two things you love there, Brock?
Oh my gosh.
He
Maura,
has
you need to send that to me.
Oh, he sent it to me on Twitter via a YouTube link.
Oh, I'm
He
gonna
said
add
that would be
to
better,
my-
so
I'm gonna add
I'll
that to
share
my
it with
Apple
you.
Music. Please do.
I like
Please
that,
do.
that in making fun of Brock, Brock's like, yep, let's go.
Yes, sir. I love it.
Nailed it. I'm in.
Uh-huh.
Pretty good. Nice job, Danny. Let's see. Here's Travis.
Hey, Mariners breakdown today needs some real analysis. Let Lyle cook. Less Salk. Let Lyle cook in the 6 a.m. block. That's what we all need right now with this Mariners collapse.
Would love to let Lyle cook. Lyle essentially won't talk. Lyle's like become a mute, Brock.
Despondent.
He wouldn't even talk on the Marine Layer podcast last night. He just yelled and then let everyone else talk.
What do you guys want me to come? What do you guys want me to come on here and say? I'm serious.
Lyle,
Turn that guy off. He sounds like a psychopath.
You do sound a little psychopathy. Not gonna lie. There's a little psychopathness to that. Maybe you could play for the Maniacs.
Well, people needed it last night.
Did they?
But
Yes.
maybe 14
They
of the
did.
last 17 nights on the road, they've needed that, Lyle. Jeez.
We got another song. This one from your wedding guest, Zane.
Here's the thing. You can't run the ball if you don't run the ball. You can't run the ball if you don't run the ball. You can't run the ball if you don't run the ball. Mike Salk has spoken. Brock's got a home in Blower Land that outshines the sun. Maura's index finger is longer than a beaver's tongue.
Oh, jeez.
Someone wake up Lyle to tell him he is dumb. Mike Salk has spoken. You can't run the ball if you don't run the ball. You can't run the ball if you don't run the ball. How you gonna run the ball if you don't run the ball? Mike Salk, hallelujah. Rum-dum-diddly-doodle-doo, rum-dum-diddly-dee. Rum-dum-diddly-doodle-doo, rum-dum-diddly-dee. Rum-dum-diddly-doodle-doo,
Oh my God.
rum-dum-diddly-dee. Mike Salk, hallelujah.
Wow. Mike Salk, hallelujah, he says, Brock. Is that what all country music sounds like? That's what it all sounds like to me.
Rum diddly diddly. That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Rum diddle 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 dum diddle die, diddle 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 doo, diddle 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 dee, diddle dee, dee, diddle
Cotton
dee,
Eye
dee.
Joe.
Sure. Was that what I was singing? Stupid Yankees garbage. Here's Matt.
Here's the thing. For all the talk about the new Open for Blue 88, everyone is still missing the obvious problem. In the beginning of the Open, Brock calls the play and says, "on one." He then proceeds to say "hut" 3 times. So the Open is actually fine, but we need to change the name from Brock and Salk's Blue 88 to False Starts with Brock and Salk. Love the show. Bye.
Yeah, why would you call on one and then give 3 huts?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Brock's in the Lyle whatever mode with
Uh-huh.
people critiquing Blue 88.
Yeah.
What is the deal with that, though?
I'm not going back to Pittman a third time.
I think you
okay?
might need to.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well, then this is going to be out there forever with you making everybody jump off sides.
Sure.
You know who's going to come after you? Ray Roberts. He doesn't like that. You really want to make Big Ray mad? Do you?
What?
Do you want to make Big Ray mad? Maybe you do.
No.
Maybe you do want to make Big Ray mad.
No.
Not a good idea. Just quit making those tackles jump off sides. We'll finish up with Brent.
Here's the thing, my brothers and sister. The wind has carried your words of anger to my embracing ears. This anger appears to be caused by a local group of seafarers. It's important to remember that the true emotion behind anger is fear, and I implore you to escape living in a world of fear. These seafarers cannot truly cause you to be afraid on their own. It's only if you give them power over your soul. And giving power over one's soul to others is like giving the knight a sandwich and a bowl of soup. Only the goat shall eat, and happiness will be reserved for the asparagus. Follow these words, and your fear will fade away.
Does that
I also recommend weekly ayahuasca sessions.
Does that sound like anyone you know, Brock? Anyone you've heard before?
Like if you want to pour water into a cup,
right,
and at the bottom of the cup it's got a hole in it,
sure,
and you're going, I'm ready for you, universe. I'm ready for the next wave of abundance.
All right, that's enough out of you, Blue of Earth, and Brent, and all of you out there. Thank you. Great job on Here's the Thing this week. If you want to leave a message, go download the Seattle Sports app. It's super easy, and you can leave us messages every week for Here's the Thing. Hey, while you're using the Seattle Sports app, Brock, you can watch some high school football tomorrow night. Seattle Sports Game of the Week, presented by STSPN. First matchup, number 1 ranked Sumner Spartans against the number 10 ranked Lake Stevens Vikings tomorrow from Lake Stevens High. Watch the game tomorrow night at 7 p.m. exclusively on the Seattle Sports app, seattlesports.com, and Seattle Sports YouTube page as well. All right, coming up next, we'll give you guys everything you need to know, and then a lot of Seahawks talk, I think, at 8:30 as we really start to dig in and get ready for this season. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Touchdown Seahawks! Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and I have had a few injuries through the years. Anybody that's played the great game of football and got to play it and live out their dreams walks away from it in a little bit of pain, but you don't have to be a pro athlete to know what I'm talking about. Painful joints from arthritis and anything in the itis family, well, it affects you, and it can affect anyone and make it hard to do pretty much anything. Well, that is where my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, where he and his staff are ready for your call this morning, 425-823-4000. Please don't let joint pain stop you from your quality of life. Consider Dr. Nelson the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques. Many have jumped aboard the regenerative medicine train lately, not Dr. Nelson. Over 30 years of experience. Got a lot of tools in his tool bag, including, yes, stem cell therapy. So give him a call this morning if you are living in pain and it's affecting your quality of life. 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford.
That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
This Saturday and Sunday, 500 builders will gather in Bellevue for the longest-running LEGO fan exhibition in the world, BrickCon 2025. Maidenbauer Center this weekend is your chance to see the most amazing models created by LEGO hobbyists from around the country. Purchase current, past, and custom LEGO sets, parts, and minifigs. BrickCon was awarded Event of the Year and the premier LEGO convention of the Pacific Northwest. Tickets still available at brickcon.org. Get your LEGO on at brickcon.org.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at 4hers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's 4hers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
A lot of frustration right now with your Seattle Mariners. Frustration on behalf of the players, frustration on behalf of the fans, manager, management, everybody.
Why?
Because they're not playing very good baseball, Brock, and specifically on the road where they continue to lose. It was a 2-7 road trip. They came home 1-4 of 6 and then went back on the road. And unfortunately, it has just been more of the same. And now they're 1-5 on the road trip with 3 games left to play. You almost need a sweep just to try to salvage something from this trip and at least make it, not horrendous.
That ain't happening.
Well,
I
mean, who knows what's going to happen?
It's not happening.
How do you say that? Who the heck
0.0
knows what's
chance.
happen? Okay.
It's Chris Sale and Strider. 0.0 chance.
Okay, well, whatever. We'll see. Yesterday was real ugly. They gave up 8 runs in the first 2 innings. George Kirby did not have it at all. They tried to come back a little bit late, but too little, too late. They lose again. Here was the skipper.
You keep fighting till the end. That's what that's what this game's all about, and that's what these guys in that clubhouse are all about. They're going to fight till the end, and that's the one thing you learn, and I know these guys know it well. They've done it for a lot of years, and it's an incredible group in there, and they're going to keep fighting.
How many times do you think Dan Wilson has said fighting and fight through 140 games this year? Has he said it 1,000 times? I bet it's pretty close to that.
It's probably close.
It's every single night. There's no question. We have a chiropractor in town, bless his heart, and there's no question it works. Because when he adjusts you, he says, power's on. Oh, channels are open. He either says power's on or channels are open every single time to every single patient that walks out the door. And he does it purposely, right? It's just And I think Dan has continued that message from the beginning of spring training. Now 140 games in, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. Well, you're up against the ropes in ways you've not been all season long, right? Losing 14 of 17 on the road. Your fight and your resolve is getting tested more than it ever has all season long.
Do you think it feels like they're fighting right now?
Yeah, I just think they've got a lot of really bad at-bats. I just think they give away a lot of at-bats early, especially early in these games out on the road. But I don't see a listless, energyless, I don't see that. I just see a team that's getting overwhelmed by any and all of their opponents out on this road.
Yeah, I hear that. On the other hand, like they gave up, 9 and 10 runs in 2 of the losses in Tampa Bay? Like, that's not tired bats. That's just not giving yourself a chance to win. That's the team with the 26th best ERA on the road this year, not pitching well on the road and starting pitching having a real major problem. So all these things are difficult to try to figure out. But regardless, it is not good right now. And with the Astros winning yesterday, it's now 4 back in the division. Fortunately, everybody else lost. So a game and a half up in the wild card, 2.5 up on Kansas City and Tampa still.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Seahawks had practice yesterday, which led to the first official practice report of the year. And pretty much everyone's healthy. It's pretty good. Linebacker Tyrese Knight didn't even appear, so that was great news. Torrey Horton was a full go. And then Chenna, Jake Bobo, Derek Young, Cody White, all partial participants. So a little bit of concentration of injury at the wide receiver position, but overall, pretty darn healthy heading into this first game against San Francisco.
Yeah, and those receivers, what is it, shoulder, hamstring, concussion? And the likelihood is one of them is not going to be active anyway, more than likely, because Salk, you've got 15 tight ends and fullbacks. So let's go.
It's a couple of those, yeah. Yeah, I would say there's some of that.
San Francisco, fairly healthy on the other side, too.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of names on the list, but it was 16 names on the list, but almost everybody looked like they were just fine and going to be able to play. So, there's also a little smack talk ahead of this, sort of. Just Diamador Lenore, who for whatever reason hates the Seahawks, and he was asked about that.
Obviously, you've really embraced the rivalry with Seattle. Is that an opponent that you feel like you're more passionate about than others?
Always. Literally, this whole offseason has been about Seattle. So, I got to back it up. I'm ready.
Kind of got to respect that, though, right?
Yeah.
At least he's saying, like, hey, look, I've been talking about him nonstop for no real reason.
He was a duck, right? Bombardier Lenore.
Was he?
I think he was a
Diamador?
What's his name?
Diamador Lenore.
Yeah. I just said his last name.
Did you?
He was one of those guys that you just don't mess with that on a broadcast.
Oh, I feel like everyone on the NFL broadcast loves to say his name just to prove they can say it. Diamador Lenore.
He was a duck, right? Yeah.
Is that you think that's why he hates Seattle?
He's just a duck.
It's just part of that. All right. Well, we'll see on see how this all goes on Sunday.
No, I think part of it was DK. A huge part of it was the hatred for DK.
I don't know. It seems like there's a JSN thing too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just really hates Seahawks. I kind of respect it.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Look at an actual NFL game tonight, Brock. Eagles and Cowboys. What do you want to see?
Super pumped. Producer Bo's going to be over. Got the crew over. It's going to be fun. Get to see some of the newbies on this crew as well. I think this will be. I kind of want to see Dallas win, to be honest with you. I kind of want to see Dallas just shut everybody up.
That'd be pretty hilarious.
Oh, Jerry's senile. Oh, that blah 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 blah. Kenny Clark's a good player. They got some good defensive players, man. And Dak Prescott fully healthy. Dak's always been a competent player.
A little curious to see kind of where their mentality is at after everything that's happened. They got a new head coach, a rookie head coach in Shoddy, and are they freed up the way the Red Sox seem to be after the Rafael Devers trade, or are they just in complete meltdown, this is a total disaster mess mode? I think we'll tell fairly quickly about what Dallas looks like. And they're going to have to do it against Philadelphia, who might be, if they're not the most talented team in the league, they certainly are in the conference. So we'll see where it all goes. We got real football, live football action tonight. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. And, you can actually go watch Hawks live tonight as well. Another season. You can join Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer starting at 7 o'clock at Bellevue Square Center Court for a live broadcast and a preview of the week's game. And yes, Grace Zabel is going to be there. Go meet Gray Zabel. Maybe he'll chug Gatorade with you. You can find out by going over there tonight, 7 o'clock, Bellevue Square Center Court. Learn more at seattlesports.com/events.
Make sure it is just Gatorade, all right? Just Gatorade.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got a game to play on Sunday, Brock. He's
That's
just
right.
hydrating at that point. Let's be
exactly
clear.
right.
What's up? What? You seem like you have
I
something
was just going to say, I was going to clarify for the audience. We've been in negotiations. We agreed in principle, as we talked about, and it looks like now the ink's not dry yet, but it's pretty darn close. Daniel Jeremiah is now going to be on Tuesdays. And Joel Klatt on Wednesdays.
Okay, so Joel Klatt Wednesdays at 8:30.
That's right.
Starting next week, we'll just do that throughout the season.
Let's
a
go.
mix of college football, NFL, him being mean to me, the whole deal. Poor me, very sad.
Mostly the last one.
It's
Yes.
going to be every week on Wednesdays. Well, as we found out last year, I'm sometimes not here on Wednesdays, so maybe that'll happen again this year. I just won't be able to go and unfortunately be here to take grief every week from Joel Klatt. So DJ will move to Tuesday. So that means at the beginning, while baseball season's still going on, we'll do that at 9:30.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so 9:30 Tuesdays with DJ to start because Passon's kind of got that 8:30 spot held down. And then
when baseball ends, whenever it ends.
Whenever.
If it's November or if it's September, whenever it ends. Yep.
Then we'll make that switch and he'll move to 8:30 on Tuesdays.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good lineup. So Mike Macdonald on Mondays at 9:30. And then
Passon and DJ on Tuesdays.
Right. And then Joel Klatt on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, keeps us open for guys like Greg Olsen. Oftentimes we have the opportunity to talk to whoever's doing the game that week. So that'll be pretty cool. We'll leave Thursdays open for whatever needs to go down. And then Fridays, obviously, your calls and G. Scott and Brady Henderson comes by a lot. And Brock's going to be in for a lot more Fridays this week, this year as well. So, all right, that's a good way to set up this season. Let's start talking about it, Brock. We haven't really talked much about the Seahawks this offseason. Yes, we have. But now is go time. We'll do it next on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's serving it. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. Just going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports.
Switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle, your waterfront park is here. Celebrate the opening of 20 acres of world-class public space on the downtown shoreline at the grand opening celebration September 6th. Enjoy free live performances, family activities, cultural experiences, and more across the entire park. From Overlook Walk to Pier 62. Join Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle for this once-in-a-generation event. Be part of history. Plan your visit at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Davis Law Group for Move with MAD September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com today.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, experience the power of choice. Whether you're cruising in a fuel-sipping Prius, tackling trails in a rugged Tacoma, hauling with the mighty Tundra, or commuting in comfort with the Camry or RAV4, your perfect Toyota is waiting. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, the power of choice is yours. Visit their incredible team and beautiful showrooms today or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
It's the biggest car giveaway in the Northwest. We're giving away 30 cars in 30 days, September 1st through 30th. Mustang Madness at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. Get 1 free entry daily. Earn additional entries just by playing your favorite games. Drawings every day at Tacoma and Fife. It's 30 cars in 30 days in September. Mustang Madness, only at Emerald Queen Casino and Hotel, Tacoma and Fife. The entertainment capital of the Northwest, where excitement lives. Visit emeraldqueen.com for details.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Rick Riz here with Luke Wilson, a local owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. With your help and the Improve Your Play program, Pella has chosen a local youth athletic program to receive a $5,000 grant. Luke, who's the lucky winner this week?
Rick, we could not be more excited to announce Shelton Youth Football and Cheer as one of 2 winners of this $5,000 grant.
Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington for helping our local youth thrive.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Laughing at Lyle still.
No, I'm laughing at this video because that was me. That was totally me when I was 8 years old. But more with my dad's football team when they lost, crying. And I had a pastor friend who sent his grandson, 8-year-old grandson. That was after the first inning last night.
Oh, jeez.
And his grandson is just crying about the Mariners. It just doesn't get it.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
And there is a good comp to Lyle. There is a really, really good comp to Lyle.
Lyle's scream. This kid doing his crying routine.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some similarity in there. We'll come back to the Mariners in a little bit. I was on yesterday, Brock, San Francisco radio guy, or former radio guy, really, who does a YouTube show now. Damon Bruce had me on yesterday, and a couple things jumped out to me in talking to him, because sometimes talking to somebody from the outside, I know you know this as well, will kind of clarify some of your thoughts, and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I necessarily thought that. So a couple things that jumped out to me. One, in thinking about what the Seahawks are, they're going to win somewhere between 7 and 10 games. And I know that's an admittedly vague projection, but wouldn't it surprise you if they were outside that range?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Now, injuries are obviously, always a factor in the NFL. I do think they've built some redundancy and built some depth in some areas and maybe have more depth on the offensive and defensive line than they've had in a long time to withstand some of that. But I think that is 20 of 32 teams probably fit in that 7 to 10 realm, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the NFL is totally built. That's why the rules are in place the way they are. That's why there's a salary cap. That's why they're scheduling the way it is. That's why draft orders are the way they are. Like the league is built to have 20 to 25 of their teams somewhere within that 7 to 10 strata, and then which ones can emerge and pop out of that. And those that we think are terrible sometimes surprise, and those that we think are going to be just great and 11, 12, 13 win teams do tend to bounce back. It's why the league is compelling, and it generates as many eyeballs as it does beginning tonight.
Yeah, and obviously, who knows what they're going to do, but I do find myself thinking like, all right, I can't really see this team being bad. I don't see them as a bad. I know there are a couple of people out there who seem to think the Seahawks are going to end up at the bottom of the division in the top 5 of the draft next year. I don't personally see that as a likely scenario. If it does, I think we're going to have a very interesting quarterback conversation on our hands at the end of the year with so many guys in this year's draft potentially being options for the Seahawks, and whether it's Arch Manning and everybody else, like there's going to be some great conversation about potential quarterback play.
Yep.
So if they are for some reason at the, the bottom 5, if they win 4, 5, 6 games, we will certainly have a lot to talk about. I just don't see that as a likely scenario. So that kind of leads to the second thing that jumped out to me as I was talking to him, which is he asked me how excited I was to be committed to Sam Darnold. And I'm like, are the Seahawks really committed to Sam Darnold? Like, I almost just refuse to accept the premise of the question. He's like, oh, how are you feeling about the Sam Darnold relationship? I'm like, I don't know if there is a relationship. I don't know whether the Seahawks have truly committed here. And apologies to G. Scott. He'll be in tomorrow at this time, and he's really the relationship guy. But I did find myself using a G. Scott level relationship analysis here. And it feels to me a lot like a trial relationship.
They're dating.
Yeah, like the Seahawks were married to Russell Wilson, right? For a long time. They had a long-term relationship. They were married to Russell Wilson. They got divorced. It was kind of ugly. Nobody was happy. They dated Gino, but not very seriously. That was sort of the like too quick, too soon. And now they want to start looking for the real thing, but they're taking it very slowly because they're very afraid that they were going to get back into the wrong relationship. And so Sam Darnold is the ultimate like no commitment, like, hey, we might really like each other. We like some of the things that you bring to the table. Let's go out a couple times. I'm open to a real relationship, but I'm not jumping in with both feet just yet.
You're
like, there's
really
no wedding
nice.
bells.
So you're really
nice.
But am I attracted to you?
Right.
Can we go from the friend zone to the end zone?
That's right. Is that what the people
like
say?
that?
I don't know. Doesn't sound like something you should be saying. That's for sure.
No, probably not.
Doesn't feel like a Brock Heward brand thing to say.
But can we? Yeah, I think Sam is likable, and everybody likes him and wants to root for him, and is a great guy and a great teammate. And we'll see whether or not he goes honestly from a date in a dating situation into that marriage. And this contract allows for that. This kind of prenup allows for that if we're going to continue this analogy all the way through, and maybe we should end it probably there. But yeah, I think that is a very fair way to look at it. Most, again, a lot of these teams that drafted in the first round, a lot of these teams that have paid their quarterback, including Brock Purdy, $50 million a year, you're married. For better or worse, you're married to him. And I don't think the Seahawks are in that situation.
Well, and I didn't have time to kind of get back to him and just say exactly that. Like, oh, you think I'm committed to Sam Darnold? How are you feeling being committed to, and like pot committed to Brock Purdy? Because everything changes now for the Niners. They need him to be a legitimate, what did Greg Olsen say? One of the couple of guys that, you trust to step back in the pocket and just do his thing. Well, I don't know whether I trust him to do that at all. That's not really been his MO as a player, as a quarterback. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like the Seahawks are all that committed to Sam Darnold. Now, the other side of this is Evan Cohen, who hosts the Unsportsmanlike show before ours. And I've heard him and saw his tweet about it yesterday, essentially saying that his bold prediction, they were going through bold predictions, and maybe that's just akin to hot takes, was that by the end of the year, Jalen Milroe was going to be the starting quarterback in Seattle. And I got to tell you, I love him. I think he's a great radio host, Evan, but I don't necessarily agree with that as much as I enjoy a little of the Jalen Milroe stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hard for me to imagine that he's a starting quarterback here at by the end of the year.
Yeah, there was not really, I think, the growth in the preseason to showcase that.
Right.
If anything, as it went longer on, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a project.
Yeah.
This is going to take some time, and then ultimately the game really exposed a lot of that. It was, and you see that with young players. They pop right away. Oh my gosh, when things are pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Early part of rookie camp, early part of OTAs, like, wow, that arm and that athleticism and those things are real. But then when the burden of the actual game and the game planning and the game management and the game calling and the game decision-making and the game accuracy starts to ramp up, you do feel a bit overwhelmed. And I felt that way as camp went along. And Sam was the inverse of that. When it was all pretty simple, he was pretty average. When more got on his plate, all of his banked experience and time on task, I think, expressed itself.
All right, so how many games do you think Sam Darnold starts this year?
Well, I think he starts 17 games. I think he's one tough sucker. I think they're going to follow in line with Russell and Geno, and the attribute that those guys never got enough credit for was how unbelievably mentally and physically tough they are, and Sam Darnold's the same way. I don't see a situation unless it is a crazy fluky injury. He plays through stuff. He's a tough dude, and yeah, I think he's going to start every game this year.
Good.
You?
I think history just tells me in general to bet against any quarterback starting all 17 games. Just really hard to do. It happens, and certainly we watched it here for a long time. But all 17?
Russ and Geno.
I know.
What did Geno miss? One?
Miss one. I mean, again, that doesn't mean the guy's going to miss 6, but history kind of tells you that it's really hard to start all 17 games. I think my over-under would probably be 15.5.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range. He probably starts 15 or 16 games. It's really hard to start all of them. And that Drew Lock will factor in some way this year. You'll end up seeing him start a couple of games, maybe one that he needs to come in on occasion. I do think that, I mean, Brady and I were kind of arguing a little bit about it last week. And I just feel, or maybe it was on Monday, I just feel like they're not going to carry 3 active quarterbacks for a game. Brady seems to think maybe they will. And that they will want Drew Lock to come in a backup situation should something happen to Darnold mid-game. But I have really felt the opposite. Like, if that happens, we'll ride it out with Milroe, and the next day you'll start preparation for Drew Lock to start the next game. But I would think you would just want Milroe for the sheer fact that he can come in and do some different things in short yardage.
Yeah.
And use Drew Lock as an emergency quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. I probably lean a little more Brady there. I probably lean in that
3
way.
active quarterbacks?
For the opener, yeah. Yeah, when your roster is pretty darn healthy in a lot of spots and you got everybody going, everybody that you really want up and need up. Yeah, I think, in the magnitude of this game in division against this foe in your building, if something were to happen to Sam in the first quarter, God forbid, like you need Drew playing those next 3. You don't want Jalen Milroe staring down Bosa and Warner and the rest of those guys. So I think for the first one, I'd probably lean with Brady there, actually.
But over the course of the season?
Over the course of the season, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Injuries on the rest of your roster, Jalen's growth, the growth maybe of a package for him if he's, showcasing that and right matchup, right number of variables. But I think out the gate, I think you'll see all 3 active.
You want to kind of blow everyone's mind?
Oh.
Come out with Jalen Milroe as your starting quarterback for the first snap of the game on Sunday. Come out in a wildcat type situation, right? Whatever it is, read option, and for the first.
What is this, the WWE?
Just saying, you want to throw them for a loop? You want to surprise the heck out of them? Do that. Come out with whatever Jalen Milroe package you have right off the bat, and see if you can run down their throat for the first couple plays. You don't like that?
No. Actually, I not only detest that, I puke that thought out of my mouth.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
You think they're ready for it?
I think it's hit. He gets free fumbles as he did 3 times in Green Bay. That's
not going to happen again. That was a weird, unlucky day. That's not going to happen again.
And no, you are setting Sam up for success. I can't wait, honestly. And Greg hit on some of this. I can't wait because the number of times last year that I wouldn't scream like Lyle did post-game yesterday, but you know this, and I texted you quite often, and we would talk about it each and every week. This is unsustainable. You cannot be in the shotgun. You're asking guys to do it. You're basically asking them to hit 0-2 counts time after time after time. You're just giving that defense that much of an advantage when they know what you're doing, where you're doing. We heard from multiple people inside football that the tendency level of that Seahawk offense and the basic nature of it was so easy to defend. I am so excited to see them under center. I'm so excited to see pre-snap movement. I'm so excited to have two things look exactly the same. And for Fred Warner, instead of knowing exactly what's coming, sorry, Coach K, he's got to actually sit there and pause and hesitate for a second. Is this run? Is this play action? They're pad level. There's no tells. There's nothing showing to me so I can gain an advantage and hit them before they get going, which is really what that defense has done to the Seahawks over and over and over and over again. The last couple years in particular.
Well, you're no fun. I think it's a much more fun idea to come out and surprise them like Miami did to Belichick that day.
That's a terrible take.
All right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, all right, it's probably not going to happen. It's not even really a take, to be honest with you. It's not like something I think is going to occur. It was just something I thought would be sort of fun. But all right, that's fine. You guys don't have to have fun with me. If you're all going to be serious all the time and, oh, you're going to have Sam Darnold back there. Okay, fine. Boring. Typical.
Great.
The other conversation here is about the defense, and that was the question I was asking Greg.
Yeah.
Like, he's asking me about the defense. He's like, well, what's going to be the strength of the defense? Is it the secondary? Like, what is it? I was like, I don't know. What is the strength of the defense? Like, I think the defense is going to be really good, but I don't know how to answer that question. What is the strength of the Seahawks defense? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's 8 guys up front. I think it starts and ends there. And
so it's the opposite of the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I think the secondary is good. I think Julian and Kobe are good players. I think their ceiling is not like all pro and like dynamic and the biggest game changers in the league, but I think their ceiling is good. The defense, when you rotate 8 guys through, Salk, and you say, oh, there's not really a star, and I understand that from a name recognition standpoint, there's not a Richard Sherman, there's not a, Myles Garrett, a TJ Watt, there's not that level of star power, Q rating across the country. But as far as like an opposing team, starting to study this team, man, this really sucks because they got 8 guys that can all play. And, this isn't, remember those years when you had like the big guys that come on the field to stop the run, and then you have your pass rushers that could rush the passer, but neither group could do the other very well. Red Bryant isn't getting to the quarterback, and the run and the pass guys are too light. Most of them got traded or moved on, and they couldn't stop the run. This group of 8 can do both. I think DeMarcus Lawrence, I can't wait. If my eyes and what I saw at training camp come to light on Sunday, we're going to be talking about DeMarcus Lawrence. Like, sheesh, this guy reminded everybody that he was one of the best defensive ends in football when healthy a couple years ago. Like, he could stop the run, and he crashes that point of attack and that pocket. He dents that pocket regularly, and there's Leonard, and there's Byron, and there's Boye, and there's Derek Hall, and there's even Uchenna. Like, that group right there that's winning football, man. That's how you do it in this league. It's a line of scrimmage league. And you don't do it with 4 guys or 5 guys. You need 8 guys. And they legitimately have 8 guys that I think have an opportunity to impose their will in ways that we've not seen in a long, long, long time.
Yeah, Jaron Reed was talking about that yesterday.
Just playing physical from the front, from the O-line to D-line to receivers blocking to safeties filling, safeties tackling, cornerbacks tackling, everybody just playing, Seahawks football, like real man football.
Just talking about being physical, and obviously he starts that on the offensive and defensive lines where it all begins. No, I think you're right. I think that is probably the right answer to that question. I got a texter who says the strength of the Seahawks defense is the play calling. I don't know. Like, I that's hard for me to say. Like, the play calling?
You can call the greatest plays, but if you don't have the line of scrimmage,
like,
it doesn't matter.
That's
it
right.
just doesn't matter. So that sets you up for success. And honestly, in this matchup,
is the answer not it's depth? Is that the answer?
No,
or
those are
lack of weaknesses. Like,
those are all really good players. Byron Murphy's got a really high ceiling. Leonard Williams got an all-pro ceiling. DeMarcus Lawrence has had an all-pro ceiling. Those are not, like, honestly, Julian, and this is no slight on them, on Julian and Kobe, they don't have that kind of ceiling. I don't think your linebackers have that kind of ceiling. They have very good ceiling. Maybe Tyrese Knight, down the road could be a Pro Bowl. He's got some serious speed and movement skills. Woolen and Spoon have those kind of ceilings. But as far as depth of it, man, there's some. Again, it comes down to this, like, wow, there's no stars, there's no name recognition. This is kind of the time that you like too, right? Before you get some of that star power, name recognition, you get that chip on your shoulder. You get those hungry dogs that are like, hey man, I'm not Fred Warner, I'm not Bosa. You guys get all that attention, but I am chasing you, and here's my time to bite and make my mark and make that happen. And I kind of like that incentive, initiative, whatever you want to call it, passion defensively. I think they've got, let's face it, in this matchup, the last 3-4 years, right, against Brock Purdy, you beat him once. You're 1-4 against him, right? In this matchup, it's not been favorable. You have felt old Pete Carroll, you have felt San Francisco impose their will. The Armsteads and the Bosas and the Trent Williams and they have imposed their will time and time and time and time again. I think this is the first time in this fight that you've got a chance to impose your will in 3 or 4 years.
Darren in Dayton says, you want to have some fun? Let's send the defense out for the first offensive drive. All right. I was having some fun. You guys are no fun at all. How dare you taking shots like that, Darren in Dayton? What's the matter with you? That's just too much. That's just too much.
You want to have some fun? Let's let Lyle host the 9 a.m. hour. You want to have some fun?
No, it'll be very quiet. Lyle has nothing to say today. He's keeping very,
Lyle, are you
very
broken?
quiet.
Right? Like, is it fair to say this is in 120, 40 games? This is the most broken you are. Are you Humpty Dumpty? Do we need to put you back together?
What was your first clue?
I mean, I thought it was maybe when they, lost the no-hitter in New York, and that was broken, but that was like a fracture. This feels like a significant like it's spinal. Is this now spinal?
It's not good. It's really, really not good. I got to tell you.
So do you take any, I don't mean to keep coming back to this. We're like moths to a flame today, I guess. But do you take any solace in the memory that right after that in New York, they swept Detroit and looked great, that after losing in Arizona when we felt like the season might be over, they came back and played great? Just each time it has felt like everything was teetering on the edge of ending, they've come back and played some of their best baseball. Do you take any solace or memory in that?
I would if they had a single road series win in the second half. They don't.
Right. No, I get that. I understand that they don't. But what if they beat Atlanta? Then what? Then you're going to be like, oh, everything's great? I mean, like...
Not everything's great, but sure, if they win 2 or 3 in Atlanta, it'll change a little.
Okay.
A little.
A little.
Just a little.
I guess it's hard for me to see how, 3 games out of
because
162
now
would change your view that spectacularly.
I'll speak to Lyle because now, Salk, you don't have 100 games or 90 games or 110. You got 140 bank games. You're the 26th ERA on the road.
It's brutal.
You're 30th with runners in scoring position.
Hey, those are my stats. Yes, I know.
Are they? Are they real numbers? Yeah.
I pointed them out this morning.
Well, and bottom line, even though we know you can get on a hot streak in especially baseball and hockey, I think you want to see some kind of killer instinct down the stretch, don't you? Or some kind of passionate push or...
Also, the two of us watch baseball extremely differently. And admittedly, you probably watch it in a much more healthy manner where you look at the big picture. I don't do that. I ride the highs and lows every day.
You're basically, Salk, you know what you've turned into basically, Salk, is you near 50? You turn into the Grosfather. You've turned into
a little bit.
Gros.
Yeah.
You remember how the Gros
when I was your age, I watched baseball the same way as you're talking about. 100% true. I watched it exactly the same way you are now. I guess I just feel like I've got a little bit of perspective at this point. And Maura, it's
You've
funny.
You've got to start worrying about your heart and your health.
I told you. I got friends with AFib. I'm getting old here.
Slow down.
I'm trying to do my best to just,
you
make it.
Make the moment last.
But Maura, it's funny you say that about you want to see the killer instinct. You want to see them do that because you're the person who gives me the most grief about my Texas Rangers thoughts from a few years ago.
Yeah.
And the 2020, I'll read this again.
And that's why I'm saying I know that there's not a lot of teams in the AL showing that right now. But I'm just saying I think that's what Lyle wants.
Totally understand.
Think that's what's upsetting.
But the 2023 World Series winning Texas Rangers went 4-15 over a 19-game stretch at the end of August and early September just 2 years ago before winning the World Series. I am not blind to how poorly the Mariners are playing right now. They are playing like garbage. Don't get me wrong. What we've watched in this road trip and the last road trip has been horrendous. Bad baseball, bad pitching, bad hitting, bad managing, bad everything. But I'm pretty sure everyone in Texas 2 years ago, if they cared about the Rangers at all and weren't just focused on what the Cowboys were doing, were saying exactly the same thing. For the 7 Rangers fans that actually focus on them instead of the Cowboys and football and Texas football and Arch Manning, all of them, the 7 of them, were collectively saying, well, I got to have you got to do this, you got to show that, you got to do this.
Yeah, I think one of the differences, and my memory is not that bad yet, that was a collective bullpen meltdown. That was a failure. If you remember the Rangers, it was just a blue game after game after game.
I don't remember enough.
This feels, unfortunately, like it's a more collective.
Yeah, it's been
this
one
is your pitching,
thing after
this is your
another.
bullpen,
Yeah.
this is your hitting. This has been, unfortunately, I think in that situation, they finally straightened that out and got back on. This one has been, as you said, bad in so many collective ways that it's got to get turned around.
Also, if we're looking big picture here, and if you really want me to go a little further into Brock asking me why it could be broken, this is the chance to now be the 3rd year in a row with just an epic collapse. In 23, they shot into first place, absolutely blew it down the stretch in September. We know what happened last year, 10-game lead, blown in record time, and now you got a chance to blow it again. That's where the brokenness
And there was a
comes
lot
from.
of frustration, and a lot of that blame kind of pointed at one person last year who took the axe for everybody else. To see it happening again is certainly disheartening. There's no doubt. And, I don't know what he's thinking right now from his perch in San Diego, but I bet he's chuckling a little bit at the way things are going for the Mariners here down the stretch. All right, we are on to the number 2 most intriguing Seahawk, Brock. Number 2. That means number 1 is coming tomorrow. We've talked a lot about this guy, and it's still probably not enough. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square's center court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer. And this week's guest, starting left guard, Gray Zabel.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
In today's competitive world, standing out isn't optional anymore. I'm Rusty George, and my agency helps builders, manufacturers, and material suppliers get louder and get noticed in order to bring in new customers. From effective brand strategies to websites and marketing campaigns that drive business, Rusty George is for builders just like you. No fluff, just results. You can build the future. We'll help you build your new business pipeline. Visit rustygeorge.com today. rustygeorge.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Hey homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at forhers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's forhers.com/radio. forhers.com/radio.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Seattle, your waterfront park is here. Celebrate the opening of 20 acres of world-class public space on the downtown shoreline at the grand opening celebration September 6th. Enjoy free live performances, family activities, cultural experiences, and more across the entire park, from Overlook Walk to Pier 62. Join Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle for this once-in-a-generation event. Be part of history. Plan your visit at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the First Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, what was the initiative to make that call?
I've got something worth preserving for the sake of the people that I serve and my family. So it's important to me.
What did you learn through the process?
The experience with First Mark has been highly professional, informative individuals that have helped me from personal to professional insurance, life insurance, policies, coverage, cyberspace. Things that I was afraid to approach were pretty easily approachable.
How would you say their customer service has been, Aaron?
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I just couldn't say anything higher about First Mark. They've executed very well on as many levels as I could rate them.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, final hour of the Brock and Salk show. Maura's got the fantasy forecast coming up at 9:45. If you have fantasy questions for her ahead of the first NFL game tonight, you can text them to 866-979-3776, and she can answer some of those. Coming up at 9:45, she'll offer some of her thoughts on the week in fantasy football. She and Lyle were going deep into some conversation about, oh my gosh, yes, early today.
Keeper league stuff?
It wasn't that deep. We were talking about our rosters.
I will say any conversation in fantasy football feels deep to me. I did not follow it, but they were super, super into it, and they were going back and forth. And he just
walked into the other room and shut the door.
I did do that, yeah.
You're just so shallow. You're so shallow in fantasy football, so
when it comes to fantasy football, yes, very,
so
very
deep
shallow.
in your football takes of one Jalen Milrow to take the first snap. I mean, shallow, deep, shallow, deep, shallow, deep. Like, what are you? Who are you?
I'm not sure that's quite what I was suggesting, but anyway, we've been counting down the 20 most intriguing Seahawks. Tomorrow, of course, the countdown will end with the number one most intriguing Seahawk. But today, we're almost there.
Number 2.
Yeah, the second most intriguing Seahawk is still Mike Macdonald. I think last year he was number one. He falls one spot because last year he was brand new, but it still feels like so much of this is about learning him and understanding how he wants this team to be. I think we're starting to get it, right? We know he wants them to be more physical than they were last year, more complementary than they were last year. They're supposed to be a defensive football team, but actually executing on that vision Yeah, now we've got to start to see it. He's moved on from some of the players that were maybe more in the Pete camp. Gino, DK, Tyler, right? What does it look like now that you've moved on from some of those old leaders and starting to build some of your own? And I think that's important. John Schneider here on how Macdonald has grown since he's gotten to know him.
I mean, he can just absorb information, and he has a huge brain, and he can go from like 0 to 100 really fast. He can be laughing, about whatever, like something silly, and then he can be super aggressive, like wanting to fight you, and I like that about him. But he's a very clear thinker and a clear communicator. And so I think there's a natural comfort and confidence that comes with standing in front of a team all the time, having a full off season to kind of digest like what you want your team to look like, what you want your culture to look like. And he's been able to really bite into that, and I think express that to the players and his staff and all football operations and the whole building, quite honestly.
Mike Macdonald was hired kind of late last year. He didn't necessarily get the coaching staff around him that he really wanted. There were some compromises made, right? We heard a lot about, hey, we're going to bring in some of the best teachers, but they didn't necessarily have relationships with him or necessarily fit the full vision for what he wanted. Sometimes the first year as a head coach, you have to make a lot of compromise. I don't think there's going to be nearly as many compromises made this year. I think we're going to get much more of the real Mike Macdonald. And Jaron Reed, talking yesterday, explained what makes him such a good coach.
I'll say Mike has all those things. Coach Mike is just a great head coach. He's came in, he's put his standard on us of what he expects from us every day. We bought into that, bringing back the physicality, the old school type of football is what we needed. And I think, the way that he is as a coach is great for us as players and for the team.
I mean, it's good to hear that kind of endorsement from your players, but talking about the old school elements, talking about the physical type of football team that he wants, that I think he felt he was starting to get, at least defensively by the end of last year, but not as much offensively. And Brock, he's been incredibly vulnerable to go with it. I know you've used that phrase quite a bit to talk about Mike Macdonald. He told us in person, the two of us, that he's essentially taping his team meetings in order to go back with consultants and try to make them be even better.
Yeah, so, we tape it and we get a summary of it and get criticized and areas of improvement and what you did well. And
the kicker?
Yeah, Hausch, man.
I didn't know that was happening. Did you?
No.
I didn't know Hauschka was here doing that. That's kind of cool.
I mean, they're not here. He's at his house, but they kind of come
Tremendous
back and forth, and they
player.
work with folks in the building and work with me.
That's cool. So it's almost like watching film on yourself and in your role as a leader and communicator.
Right now, I don't have the guts to watch it, so I do like the transcript of it.
I mean, again, I do appreciate some of the vulnerability there, and hey, I don't know it all. I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning the head coaching part of this. And I'm sure that's going to help him get better and better. Last thing here, Brock, and then I know you got a lot to say about Mike Macdonald as well, and that is to use your word. You've used it really from the moment he's been hired, and that is disruptor. Mike Macdonald was brought here to disrupt what's been happening, especially in this division with the Niners and the Rams, who've both been on a pretty good run here for the better part of the last half decade or so. When Albert Breer was here taking a look at the training camp and came in studio to chat with us, you asked him specifically about Mike Macdonald's ability to disrupt.
Beginning, it's not that way anymore, but at the beginning, they were more or less running like a service academy offense, with Lamar. And the bet there was, okay, you're putting, you're building to play against Patrick Mahomes in the AFC, and you're putting 215-pound linebackers on the field, and you're putting 190-pound safeties in the field. Yep. And you know what? We're coming right at you. Okay. And now they've got like a 260-pound robot at running back to do it, in Baltimore. So I think that, again, that's another thing when Mike Macdonald's roots were, okay, like this is where the league is going. This is where our competition is going. We're going to go over there.
Yeah, we're going to zig when everybody else zags. And I think Brock, that's been one of my favorite things about him.
Yep, everybody else is going to commit all these tens of millions and hundreds of millions to tight ends and wide receivers, and we're going to spend our money on defense. And we're going to try to fortify a line of scrimmage. It's just frankly not been good enough here in Seattle since the championship days. If that's where this thing is going to start, it's where it's going to end. I would add the other word, disruptor, would be number one, no question. But number two, and just listening to players and observing him and being around him, Salk, as we have been around, and what John Schneider had to say, he's a processor.
Mm-hmm.
In the elite anythings in life, I really believe this, the elite anythings in life are great processors. They have to listen and absorb information, and then they have to process it faster and better and more efficiently and more creatively than their peers do, whatever industry you are in. And I think he has shown a real aptitude towards that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't said he's a very good processor. And we haven't really talked about that, but it's important to be a good processor and really listen if you want to be good at anything. And so, yeah, just to finish up, Mike Macdonald, I do think is I'm sorry. Sorry.
You trying to be the Graz? I called you the Graz last hour.
Yeah, exactly. I was just channeling him a little bit more. No, I was just making a little processing joke, Brock. That's all.
Will the real Mike Macdonald please stand up?
I think we'll find out this year. I think we'll find out even more this year. I think by the end of this year, we're going to have a pretty good idea who Mike Macdonald is. I think last year was a nice start to that process, and I feel like by the end of this year, we're going to have a pretty good idea of who Mike Macdonald really is, and that's why he is the second most intriguing Seahawk.
Number one.
God, it could be anybody,
Who's
really.
One?
Yeah.
Who's number one?
It's Cal.
Are you going to
Cal's
share
gonna be
that you
one.
may have had a different number one?
I think I mentioned that at some point. Yeah, I think I told you that there's been some revisions done to the list over the course of the preseason. I don't need to give everybody a peek into how the sausage is made, Maura, but there have been some little changes and tweaks here and there. Mike Macdonald said we're tweakers.
You ever made sausage, Salk?
Have I ever made it?
Yeah.
Like from scratch?
Sure.
No. Should I?
With the casing and the...
No. I don't think I want to. It doesn't sound like something I really want to do. Have you? What's so funny?
Just imagining you
making sausage from scratch,
adding the fat, the right amount of seasonings, getting it all.
That doesn't sound fun at all. No, sausage is something I'll buy.
Remember the saying you don't want to see how the sausage is made came from?
I literally just said that, Maura.
Gross.
As one of the elite processors, you know I just said that, and that's how we started talking about sausages.
Brock.
Need to know next.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
You know what the fall is? The fall is a great time, yes, for football. It's also a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff. And Top Fitness got some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock, you were here, and I've told you for years that working out in your own home gym is the very best. No slogging back and forth to the gym, right? No rain to deal with. We know that's coming. Nope, have it all right in your own home. And from flooring to everything that goes in a home gym, treadmills, elliptical, strength training systems, Top Fitness, they've got you covered. They represent the very best brands available, too, like Washington's own Precor, built right there in Woodinville, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions, and they'll do the rest. A complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest in financing and mention you heard it from me, and you'll receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. No secret that everyone from personal trainers to pro athletes love Top Fitness. They got locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for even more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, experience the power of choice. Whether you're cruising in a fuel-sipping Prius, tackling trails in a rugged Tacoma, hauling with the mighty Tundra, or commuting in comfort with the Camry or RAV4, your perfect Toyota is waiting. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. 2 locations, endless possibilities. Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, the power of choice is yours. Visit their incredible team and beautiful showrooms today or online at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm fortunate to speak with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Dave Wyman here, joined by Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host. Tim, how did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's, they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it, and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, breaking news just a few minutes ago. Mike Garafolo reporting the Seahawks have reached an extension for Abe Lucas. He says it's 3 years and $46 million plus the ability to earn more in incentives. Brock, here on the eve of the season beginning, Abe Lucas is going to be a Seahawk for a while to come.
It's awesome. I know Brian's been talking about this for a while. Other tackles have gotten signed. A bunch of right tackles have gotten signed over the last month. So you kind of knew where the market was. And it's a pretty favorable deal. Pretty favorable deal. They're talking to a lot of different people, John, and the Seahawks. They've got money to get deals done. From my understanding, a lot of these players are and have been kind of betting on themselves. Like, nope, I'm going to play this season out. And I think Kobe Bryant, Brady Henderson has talked about that an awful lot. So to get Abe done, and that is a very, very fair number. 3 years, 46. We'll see how much is guaranteed, and there are some further incentives in it if he can stay healthy, but that's a good deal. And to do it on the eve of the season, that's some goodwill
And if
also
I'm Abe
created
Lucas,
with everybody.
I'm saying yes, right? I mean, like, just given the knee history, I want to get a deal done and make sure that I've got my long-term money taken care of. John Schneider was on NFL Network yesterday and did kind of hint at this.
We're always working on stuff behind closed doors, and Joey Lane, our whole group, I think we do a really nice job of keeping that under wraps. Sometimes we get things done, sometimes we don't. And, if you don't at this time of the year, it doesn't mean that we won't be, still trying to push towards the end of the season or, the window right after the season before free agency starts. So, we have a number of guys that are coming up next year that we love and want to be here for a long time. And, we'll just be continuing to work that process. But, yeah, I was hoping to, scoop you guys on your show, but I just...
Anytime, bro.
Well, it almost got done and ended up maybe getting done the next day. So congratulations to Abe Lucas. He signs a deal, and the Seahawks, I mean, look, they've said pretty clearly.
Kobe, yep, there's a bunch of guys who'd like to get done.
Well, I was going to say, they've said pretty clearly they like their offensive line, and this seems like another example of putting their money where their mouth is and saying, no, we like who we've got.
Yes, and to what Greg Olsen said, actually let them grow together. Let Chris Gray and Hutch and Toback and Locklear and Walt play together and keep playing and growing together, because continuity is a great, great thing.
Yeah, all right. Well, congratulations to Abe Lucas. Really good news there.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Meanwhile, first official practice report of the season came out yesterday, Brock. Pretty good for the Seahawks. Not a lot of injured players. I mean, Torrey Horton was a full go. Tyrese Knight wasn't even on it, so that's great news. He'd been dealing with a knee injury and some other undisclosed health problems. Chenna Nwosu, Jake Bobo, Derek Young, and Cody White were all partial participants. I don't know how many of them we'll see, but I would imagine one or two, and you put all that together, and you got a pretty healthy team heading into game one.
Yeah, I don't remember this clean at this time ever, like going into it. Those guys were all limited participants. There was not one player that did not participate in practice yesterday.
Yeah.
That's called getting your horses to the starting blocks exactly the way you want to, and we'll see over the coming days. Jake Bobo gets through all of the concussion protocol. It's a shoulder and a hammy for Cody and Derek. Both of them probably not going to be active, so one of them was going to be inactive anyway. And then Uchenna will be curious. I think that's as much of build up as it is injury. That's like he's limited because we're still building to see if he can actually get to Sunday fully raring to go, and that is great, great news to begin the season.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting matchup again. Like, we know these two teams know each other very well. There's a lot of similarity between their offenses. Specifically, Kyle Shanahan was asked about that.
Yeah, it's a different style run game. I mean, it's very similar to ours and the stuff that they do. I mean, just being with Clint and being with John Benton for a long time is one of the best line coaches there is. They all, I worked with those guys back in Houston. John was here for a number of times. Clint was here 2 years ago. So there's lots of similarities in what they do, and they ran it well in the preseason, and we'll see how it is week one.
I mean, I think we know all that, but for whatever reason, it's interesting to hear it coming directly out of the mouth of Kyle Shanahan. So going to be a fun one as they get it underway Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Yeah, and as I said, we just keep coming back to this Mariners thing like a moth to the flame, and you have to. I mean, you got to deal with where they're at right now. Yesterday was another disaster as George Kirby was just absolutely bombed. Gives up 8 runs in just 2 innings, 10 hits.
No home runs?
No home runs. To give up eight runs without a home run is really hard to do in the modern game. And it does make me wonder if they had figured him out in some way, if he was tipping his pitches, if there was something. And he then did hit Josh Lowe, and I'm not saying it was on purpose, but when a righty hits a lefty with a fastball like that, it's generally kind of on purpose. Certainly the Rays thought so, because it sure looked like Adrian Hauser hit Dominic Canzone on purpose with 2 outs and nobody on in the 7th inning with a big lead. Another righty hitting a lefty with a fastball. So, I mean, it sure felt that way. He was asked about it afterwards, and I don't know what's going on with George.
It's baseball. I mean, Garv called an inside heater. I tried to throw it in, and I hit him. Whoops. I mean, I mean, some say it's on purpose or whatever, but I mean, I just tried to execute a heater inside. So
I don't know what to make of that. Is that, I mean, it's post game and he's obviously upset. He's just had a terrible game, right? He's not helping the team. He had an awful start. He's probably mad. So I don't want to read too much into what he said after that, but it just didn't sound right. And I don't know whether that's, I'm mad because I was tipping pitches and I don't want to tell you about it, or if it was a bit of a temper tantrum because I didn't play well, or if there's more history to it that we don't know.
And then
I just don't know.
Add that to JP's comments the day before, talking about when they get down, they stay down. Don't like to hear any of that stuff. Not in the midst of the most adversity they've gone through this season.
Yeah.
And that's what they're in the midst of right now. I mean, you've lost 13 of 17 on the road with this full lineup, and your team healthier than it's been all year. 13 to 17.
And we always hear that
and it doesn't matter who you're playing. Good teams, bad teams, good pitchers, bad pitchers. It's been a rut.
It's been definitely that. We always hear that chemistry really gets tested and shows itself when things are at their hardest. Now is that time. So if there's an ability for this team to coalesce, they're going to have to get it done sooner rather than later. And
one other
everything
that's
you
everything
need
you
to
need to
know.
know.
Yeah,
one other
thing.
Yeah, I got to add this, and shame on me. Chris Egan, the true Prince of Puyallup, still lives down there, is absolutely right. Still waiting for Heward and Salk to talk about the biggest news yet. How is Coach Mike Heward prepping, along with his son Damon, to be the grand marshals of the Washington State Fair Parade?
Wow. So I apologize. I was not aware of this, so I'm sorry to Chris. That's why I wasn't talking about it.
Yep.
You would think the son/brother of those two might have been the one to bring it up.
And even when Grandma Peg talked to me last night and said, it's good news, really good news, because that Thursday before the wedding was a country-themed night. So Grandpa Mike had his belt buckle, his new cowboy pants, and now they've added a hat.
Oh.
Somehow they found a hat to fit that pumpkin head. So, he's not going to be in the pumpkin contest because that cowboy hat going to be on his head. But Damon and Coach Heward, the Hall of Famer, grand marshals at the Puyallup Fair Parade.
Big news.
Let's go.
Any jealousy? I mean, how are you feeling about this?
Let's go.
No jealousy?
Let's just move it along.
Oh, that sounds like maybe I've struck a chord. Like, is there some jealousy, Brock? Are you feeling jealous that you were not asked to be a part of this?
Absolutely not.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm
proud.
sensing.
So proud.
Heward family drama. We'll be right back on Brock and Salk. And please send Maura some fantasy football questions. 866-979-3776. The fantasy forecast in 20 here on 710.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
All right, guys, we are after Labor Day. Everyone's put away their white pants because it is into fall now, and that means you want to start dealing with the effects of the summer. If you let your weight get the better of you, if you were out too often or living it up too much this summer, traveling, you can get back in shape real quick with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. They want to help, like they have over 4,000 people locally here become better versions of themselves. I know many of them. Chances are you do too. Heck, I'm one of them. Plan works. It's not that hard. It's very safe. No injections, no surgery. You're eating fresh, delicious food that you buy at the grocery store with accountability and coaching every step of the way. It's designed to help, and it really does work. How do you get it going? Start it off with just a 15-minute phone call. Schedule yours right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
Cap off your summer with an incredible night at the ballpark. The final Mariners fireworks show of the season is coming up Friday, September 12th, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the Angels in a divisional showdown at 7:10. And after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with a dazzling post-game display. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's two spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Way back into the upper deck. What a year for the Big Dumper.
Go to Mariners.com to lock in your seats and check out everything on deck, including Fan Appreciation Night presented by Starbucks, Saturday, September 13th, and a Super Mario Mariners cap giveaway thanks to Nintendo, Sunday, September 14th. Plus, don't miss the final homestand of the regular season featuring a matchup against Shohei Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th through 28th. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Paid for by Hims & Hers Health. Hims & Hers Weight Loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions at 4hers.com apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.
Trying to lose weight? It's time to try Hers. At 4hers.com/radio, you can access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss treatments tailored to you. These include oral medication kits and compounded GLP-1 injections, the same active ingredient that's in Ozempic and Wegovy. Through Hers, pricing for oral medication kits starts at just $69 a month for a 10-month plan when paid in full upfront. No hidden fees, no membership fees. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hers brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. Reach your weight loss goals with help from Hers. Get started at 4hers.com/radio to access affordable, doctor-trusted weight loss plans. That's 4hers.com/radio. FORHERS.com/radio.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, a lot of text message questions from Maura for the fantasy forecast coming up here at 9:45. She'll get you ready for week 1 of the fantasy season. Before we do it, Brock, hey, look, Abe Lucas has been extended. Not a fantasy decision because you probably don't have too many right tackles on your fantasy team, but pretty darn good for a group that really does want to run the ball, that is saying their offensive line is going to be better based on the coaching and based on who those players can be rather than just who they've been in the past. And in this case, I think a bet that Abe Lucas is going to be healthy, that the knee is good, and they love what he brings to the table. I love it.
Nobody washes the car nor knows the car quite like the owner. So they know that knee better than anybody else does. I think on the other side, that's all from the Seahawks perspective, and it's 3 years, 46, what I understand, nearly $20 million of it guaranteed. So awesome to get a bunch of guaranteed money in there as well. But look at it from the player's perspective too. I mean, flip it to the other side. You know, what he's gone through the last couple years, where I'm sure in those just dark, lonely hours of painful rehab, it's like, man, will I ever get to do this again? And I know there were massive stretches where you're like, I may be done. This may never happen for me, you know? And he's a great player. Was an amazing player at Wazoo, an amazing player his rookie year. And the injury happens, and there's a lot of hard days and hard rehab you go through. And then lastly, I would just say one more thing. That also points to Abe Lucas is a very strong, opinionated, very strong will, knows what he wants. You know, he's got a lot of Mike Leach in him. Like, don't bluff me. You don't fool me. Be who you say. Like, there's an authenticity to him. And for him to say, yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of like this system, kind of like this place, kind of like where this thing is going, kind of like this John Benton guy that you heard Shanahan talking about that everybody's been raving about. I actually like that we're doing what we say we're going to do and committed to it. And, yeah, I'll sign that dotted line as well. So I think it's a winner chicken dinner every way.
Yeah, and you
around.
wonder what'll happen next with Charles Cross, who's another one who would be up for that. Now, he doesn't need to, right? As a first-round pick, you got a whole nother year with him. Boy, Mafe is a conversation. Ken Walker, like there's a whole group of that year's draft class where this will start to kick some of those other conversations into full gear. But to me, this is a sign that they love what they got with Abe. They like what they got with their running game. They like where they're at with their offensive line. And they're going to reward a guy who, I mean, Maura and I were there together the day that we stepped in, Maura, to the practice facility, the indoor facility, and took one look at all the rookies and were like, who is that creature?
You were mesmerized.
I was. I mean, like, and we went to go see Charles Cross, and not that Charles was unimpressive, and he's had a really nice start to his career. It's not a shot at him. But when you see Abe Lucas, when you see the physicality, he jumps off the page. You're just like, whoa. And what's that? Oh, that's Abe Lucas? Yeah, all right. Like that is.
Yeah, I mean, he's like legit 6'6", legit carries, you know, the 3+ very easily. He's got incredibly long arms. He moves very fluidly for a guy of that size. And you got two great movers at your tackle position. This is what you envisioned that rookie year. Baldinger said it. Greg Olsen said it. Like, hey, man, when you have two tackles and you drafted both of them that year, remember how good of a start they got off to? Like, can you even envision and dream of what this could mean for the foundation of your line and your program? And then, you know, obviously he's gotten banged up.
You got to get it right on the interior too. That's been a bit of the challenge, and keeping these guys healthy as well. Before we move on here, and Brady's going to be in tomorrow for a couple hours, so I'll spend some time with Brady Henderson talking through some of this. But why Lucas before Cross?
Oh, much easier deal to get done. Yeah, 3 for 46, nearly 20 guaranteed versus Cross, who you've got this year, who you've got next year at that number, and I think it's roughly 20 million, right? And then you could franchise, so you're just much bigger numbers. You know, I think this one though, to your point, leads to, you know, a more legitimate with Boye and Kobe, because I think Ken is wanting. Yeah, I think that would be the third priority there. A, because of Charbonnet, B, because it's a running back, C, because he's been totally unreliable health-wise, unfortunately. So I think this would, hey, man, if you're Boye and Kobe, you're going and dapping up your brother, and, like, that's awesome, and that's great money, and maybe, you know, we could see deals done for both of those guys here as well. Yeah, okay. You want to turn? You going to turn back?
Well, I guess we got about a little bit here.
Did you catch a moth by the fingers, or with your fingers, by the way, by the wings? Do you try to do that?
No.
When you get a moth in your house and it's up by the light or whatever, and it's just annoying, what do you don't try to go get it?
I don't really do anything. Why would I do anything? What do you mean?
Go get the insect out of your house.
It's a moth.
I know, and they're just kind of annoying. You know, doesn't bother you?
I mean, not that much.
A moth to light, yeah.
Moth to the flame.
Yeah.
I don't know. I certainly don't try to torture them off. That's not.
I don't try to torture
it
it either.
Sounds like
I
you
try
do. I've seen you. I know how you treat animals, so I know where this is at. The same person who tried to throw a golf ball at a rabbit. Like I know. I know where you're at.
No.
Yes. Don't even. I know you. You were out there killing animals with your bare hands because they were attacking your yard. I don't really think about it much. I don't want moths in my house, and I don't like rats or ants or any of that stuff. But I mean, if one is there flying around, like,
okay, get back to it. Moth to the flame. Here we go.
I wrote about it last night, Brock. I spent some time thinking, and I spent, if you want to go back and hear kind of what I think is going on right now, some of the numbers that I think are problematic, being 30th in batting average with runners in scoring position is an untenable spot for the Mariners, especially when you compare it to the fact that they are 11th in batting average with no one on base. I think that's a damning statistic. I think the fact that they are 26th in the league in road ERA is a big part of the reason we're having this whole conversation to begin with, because this team is built on pitching and they're just not pitching on the road. So what are the primary reasons why we're having sort of this frustration with the Mariners right now? I think those are the two reasons. But I think the third part of this is, look, this is a good roster. You said it the other day. This is a good roster that they've put together. There's good pitchers. There's good hitters. This is probably the best roster they've had in certainly 2 or 3 years, and I might argue, Brock, in the entire time you and I have been together here in Seattle. This is probably, on paper, the best roster they've had, right?
Well, when the context I added, and I think when I asked Passon that, was like to their ceiling. If we do this floor ceiling thing,
I'm
like
just
we
saying,
do with the Seahawks players,
as a roster.
Yes, and collectively, cumulatively, there's enough high ceiling player after player after player after player after player that should not go on a lose 13-17 when it matters the most here down the stretch.
It just shouldn't happen. So what is it that's going on? Well, I'll give you kind of two. One, obviously, there's a problem with the pitching right now. They're just not pitching well enough, and that's how they were built. So that's a problem. But beyond that, I did find myself thinking about a couple of the philosophies that we heard about in spring training and trying to think about how they are hitting me right now. And life is about trade-offs. You've said that a million times. We're going to quote Larry Hills here twice in 10 minutes. But life is about trade-offs, right? And some of the two philosophies I'm talking about, and I'm talking about 162 battles and the idea of giving players a lot of grace. There's a lot of upside to those. We've seen it. We've talked about it throughout the course of the year. The game in May means as much as a game in September. And, the idea that players are going to be given a little bit more, and Cal talked about it the other day, right? Talking about how great it was to know where you're at in the lineup every day. You don't have to worry that 0 for 4 and you're moving to a different spot, or it just gave them a lot of confidence. We've seen a lot of the benefits of those two philosophies over the course of the season. I think we're also seeing some of the trade-offs of that. I think that if you're going to try to play 162 battles, you have to forfeit some of them. You have to withdraw. Sometimes you have to remember that it's a long season, and you got to say, hey, I got to retreat because I need to try to win tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And as you gear up now for, the end of this thing, did you keep enough troops in reserve, to keep the analogy going, to win when, I'm sorry, it does matter more. The September games do matter more than the April and May games. Not in the standings at the end of the year, but how you're playing and what you're doing. And you're telling me that you wouldn't trade a couple in the past to have your guys at full strength right now? Of course you would. And I feel pretty strongly. I said it at the time, and I still feel it today. I feel like these guys look tired. G just came in. He's like, man, this team just looks dog tired. They do. They look tired to me. And maybe that's, as I've said a few times, that may very well be my bias, my preconceived notion of what I thought they would be. But, man, they look pretty tired. And I would love to have seen some days off along the way. The 162 battles, I know it was just it's a phrase. But when you see it play out this way at the end of August and in September, it's hard not to look at it, right?
Yeah, when in any sport, right, you can lose a golf tournament in the first round, but you win it in the fourth round. You can lose the first quarter, and it can be ugly, but you win the game in the fourth quarter. In an 800-meter race, that first lap is really important to stay within arm's length, but you've got to finish, and it's how you finish.
Yeah.
And really, I think these April, May, June, July, all of this is – to give you the opportunity to go finish the race, go run the race to win at the end. And can you do that? Are you capable of doing that? is this group, do they have now the resolve to do that? Do they have the mental and physical toughness, Salk, that it requires to do all of that?
Brock Raleigh and J.P. Crawford have played in 135 and 136 games, respectively.
Of 140.
They've played in 135 and 136, respectively. The difference in their OPS between the first half and the second half is negative 244 and negative 248.
Yikes.
Like, those two numbers have cratered in the second half compared to where they were. Now, Cal's still going to be about league average in the second half, but he was so great in the first half that's how big a difference it is. That's how much JP's dropped off OPS-wise in the second half.
Yep.
Guys are tired. I'm sorry. Like, that to me is a sign of they've just been playing too much. And the strategy and the philosophy around, stealing bags and running and the aggressiveness, I think it all plays in. The other is the idea of grace. And this one I think is a little bit more vague. It's a little harder to really know what's been going on. But Dan, as I wrote, has been very true to his word. He's given them a tremendous amount of grace. He has not called out one player one time in public ever. It's tremendous. I respect it. I respect the heck out of it. I know the players do as well. Those conversations, if they're taking place, take place in private.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been too much grace? Has that seesaw tilted just a little bit too far? And that's not to say he's got to be out here calling players out left and right. This guy stinks. Like, you don't want that from your manager. Nobody would trust that guy. And they trust Dan very clearly. But is there a fine line between trust and allowing the allowing the guys under you to run what's going on?
And does that really come into play with how much these guys are playing?
Mm-hmm.
Where they're saying, "Hey, Skip, don't take me out.
Right?
I got your back. I got your back. Hey, I want to play." Is that where that maybe comes into play as much as anything else? Avoiding the criticism publicly, privately. Okay, but is that where in the actual day to day, the grind and all of that, is that where it's maybe come back to bite the most? That you're just trying to give those guys and listen to those guys and give them every opportunity to, play their way out of it, or say, hey, I'm fine. I want to play. This is, my DNA. I post and I don't care. Me at 80% is better than X, Y, and Z at 100%. And that also then comes into play. And I said this last week when we kind of dipped our toe in this conversation. If you're going to play that style, then you would truly, genuinely have to have 25 difference makers.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have guys, right, in Colt Emerson that you can go to in the later innings or whatever.
It's real tough when you're carrying Garver
Dylan Moore
and
and
Solano and Dylan
Garver.
Moore and Rowdy Tellez and guys that unfortunately just didn't really fit that philosophy.
Yes.
It gets pretty hard. And now, I mean, you look at your roster and you're like, okay, you kind of got that. Well, then you got to do it. You got to use it. You got to find ways to get, Leo Rivas. I think what's challenging is Leo Rivas was here all along. Like, if you wanted him, all you had to do is call him up. Like, they were able to do a lot of these things along the way. If they felt like that's what they needed, they had all those options available to them. So it is a little frustrating, and I do think that it'll get better a little bit, in another game or two. When you get Robles back, I think he really does add to the style of play that they want, and losing him at the beginning of the year hurt. There's no doubt about it. But if you want to, you got to commit to it.
And losing him here in these 7 games, not helpful.
No, he hurt the team by doing that. There's no other way to look at it. So I don't know. Again, this is a lot of speculation. I don't have any evidence on any of that. I'm trying to figure out why a team as talented as this one is playing as poorly as it is right now. And if you have some time to read some thoughts on it, you can go to seattlesports.com. It is time now for Maura's Fantasy Forecast.
Fantasy football forecast with Maura Dooley.
How do you feel knowing that intro and open is now better than the Blue 88 open?
Oh my gosh.
Who was that did that?
I think that was Brent.
How does Brent feel every Thursday about that?
Riding high.
You sure?
I think so. I think he emailed looking for royalties the other day.
Maybe we can get like a new one every week. We'll see.
So it all kicks off tonight. The Cowboys and the Eagles, Lincoln Field, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Maura, what's the name of your fantasy football team this year?
I haven't figured that all out yet. Actually, I've just had, I think my one league just has had my last name on it for a long time. Yeah.
I heard it's IHATEBROCKANDSALK.
I hate Brock and Salk now.
My other league with Taylor, he does a different theme every year. So last year it was like bad TV shows, and the year before, I don't. So this
Taylor
year it's
Jacobs?
jerseys. So I think I went with Bobby Orr. I got to figure out something around that.
Okay.
Is that fresh?
Yes,
Still
that
in
is
league?
fresh.
Oh, nice.
All right, so I wanted to start off with some guys that everybody's pretty much already done their drafts at this point since it's starting tonight. If you maybe aren't confident with the bottom of your roster, if you want to have some guys that maybe you watch for on the waiver wire, that maybe they weren't quite good enough to draft, but you should keep an eye out for them or maybe add them to the very bottom of your roster. First off is Jaguars running back Bayshul Tootin. He was taken in the 4th round this year out of Virginia Tech. He's the only running back on the roster that new head coach Liam Cohen has handpicked, and he's the most explosive. He ran a 4.32 40, but he did have some ball security issues in college. Cohen said he needs to improve in pass protection too, so as most rookies do. He's behind Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne on the depth chart, but a lot of people think he has enough talent to move up throughout the season. And then Ollie Gordon, 6th rounder out of Oklahoma State. He's with the Dolphins. Jalen Wright for them, another running back for them, was sidelined after leg surgery. But a lot of people thought he was going to beat him out for the 2nd spot behind Devin Achane anyways. And Devin Achane gets hurt a lot. He's already been dealing with a calf injury in camp. So I would definitely say Ollie Gordon's a guy to keep an eye on. The Athletics' Jordan Rodriguez wrote a piece talking to some scouts about some of these young guys, and he was compared to Corey Dillon.
No, I spit that out.
Oh, okay. Brock's familiar.
Corey Dillon
let's be
teammate.
really, really clear.
Yeah.
Covering Ollie Gordon and playing with Corey Dillon, 2 different human beings. 2 different makeups and DNAs when it comes to running
do you
between the
have a comp for him?
tackles. I don't got a lot of nice things to say about Ollie Gordon. So
I was going to say, what happened to Ollie Gordon? The dude nearly won the Heisman his sophomore year.
He
and then
fell off
year.
last year.
Yeah, and then last year he
he
didn't
ate
have a good year.
what did he ate the big slice?
He ate the big meal?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he's been impressing in Dolphins camp, but you're right. Yeah, he was great in 2023 in college and then
Don't
fell
you
off.
dare
Where did
ever
he go to
compare
school?
those 2 players.
Oklahoma State.
Don't you ever. And it wasn't you, Maura, whoever that writer was. Get
it
Ollie
was-
Gordon
she
out
talked
of
to a
Corey
scout.
Dillon's mouth.
She talked to a scout.
Get that name out of his mouth.
Okay, a couple receivers. Isaac. I always want to emphasize this. Tesla. It's TE capital SLAA from the Lions. 3rd round pick this year out of Arkansas. He's 6'4", 214. He's behind Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams on the depth chart, but he scored a touchdown in each of their preseason games and was performing well enough that they traded away Tim Patrick to give him that 3rd spot.
Is Tim Patrick any good? It feels like everybody trades away Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
ACL, Achilles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great dude, just been beat to heck.
And honestly, Torrey Horton's kind of in the same role after beating out Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I like him as a guy that you probably wouldn't draft, but you should definitely keep an eye on, especially because Cooper Kupp has not played a full season in a very long time. And if you are in a league where you can get some more points for doing punt returns, it seems like he's probably going to be involved.
Okay. You going to help some of the people who texted in?
Yeah. 509 says, Maura, I have both Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow on my roster with only 1 quarterback playing each week. Who would you start week 1? They also asked me about a possible trade package, but I would need way more information for that. So week 1, I think they're both good options. Most sites have them ranked back-to-back, but I'm going Jaden Daniels. Joe Burrow has struggled a bit with the Browns historically. He's 3-5 against them, and the Bengals have been known to start the season slow. Daniels had 200 or more passing yards in 5 of their final 6 games last season, and that 6th one he was sat at halftime because they already had everything locked up. He had 15 touchdowns in those 5 games and also added 382 rushing yards. So I'm confident in him. The Giants' defense should be improved, but he's not facing Myles Garrett like Burrow.
What Jaden Daniels' mom? Do you start her?
I would not. I think she needs to sit down.
She'll be there anyway. Don't worry about it.
425 says, of the 3 below, who would you go with for a final flex spot? Christian Kirk, Cedric Tillman, or Demario Douglas? I would go Cedric Tillman because he is, for the Browns, he's facing the Bengals defense, whereas Christian Kirk has to go against the Texans week 1. Cedric Tillman's the number 2 behind Jerry Jeudy, so I think he'll see some volume. Joe Flacco's good for like a couple games, right?
No. Not really.
He falls off, but he was good for a couple games for the Colts last year.
50 years old.
Well, do you like him better than Trevor Lawrence? Because that's who Christian Kirk has throwing the ball. So,
I was wondering if at some point you're going to start making up names for this and see whether or not I know who they are. Like,
that'd be really fun.
Who's the real?
Do you know who Demario Douglas is?
No.
Okay.
I know who Christian Kirk is.
He's with New England, and I don't really know exactly what his role is going to be there. There's some questions with that
Might
offense.
not be real.
So I would go with Cedric Tillman. Let's see. This one says, hey, Maura, R.J. Harvey or Keon Coleman in the flex. You know those guys?
I know Keon Coleman.
Okay. That's who I'm going to go with. If he's a full go, Keon Coleman was limited Wednesday. So as long as he's able to go, the Bills have a tougher matchup. They are playing the Ravens, but Josh Allen's put up points against them before. Coleman is the number 2 behind Khalil Shakir, whereas I think R.J. Harvey, the running back for the Broncos, is going to be second fiddle to J.K. Dobbins for a little while before maybe he can carve out a little more of a role for himself as the season goes along. I do like him, though.
Speaking of names, Salky, Maura,
yes.
Tonight, Tyler Booker, Jihad Campbell. Dallas took Booker. Remember, it was either going to be Booker or Gray Zabel, and Jihad Campbell was that linebacker. We talked a lot about pass rusher from Bama.
I thought we were going to get some more Bob Seymour talk while we were talking about names.
You're obsessed with Bob Seymour.
I am. You know who he's reminding me of, Brock, was Tom Johnson. Remember the mayor who came here to play D-line from Minnesota? And we were like, oh, that guy sounds like a town selectman or something.
You know, he reminded me of the bad guy, Ogre, in Major League. Or it's like the bad guy baseball.
Not
Major
League.
Not Major League. What was
Ogre is
well, Revenge of the Nerds, but that guy.
Clue Haywood?
Yeah.
In Major League?
Is that a real name?
Yeah. Well, that was his name in the movie. Clue Haywood. Yeah. It was Pete Vukovich, right? Who was here.
Yes.
Like worked for the Mariners for a while.
Yes.
All right, we got to get out of here. I think the huddle is coming up today with Bump and Stacy. I think they're over at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center getting ready.
Maura. Good stuff.
Thank you, Maura. Great fantasy forecast. Getting ready for week 1 of the NFL season. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Until then, the hay.
Barn.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Touchdown Seahawks!
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football with the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel.
Number 71, Walter Jones. As strong as any defensive player he faced, he had the feet of a dancing bear, and he had hands that once they gripped you, he wasn't going to let go.
The next great chapter in Seahawks history begins Sunday in the season opener against the 49ers at Lumen Field. Kickoff at 1:05.
On the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
In today's competitive world, standing out isn't optional anymore. I'm Rusty George, and my agency helps builders, manufacturers, and material suppliers get louder and get noticed in order to bring in new customers. From effective brand strategies to websites and marketing campaigns that drive business, Rusty George is for builders just like you. No fluff, just results. You can build the future. We'll help you build your new business pipeline. Visit rustygeorge.com today. rustygeorge.com.
Hey, it's Brock Hewitt here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, homeowners, John Curley here. Why not improve your home's comfort and efficiency now? Plus, save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to GNC.com.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up?
Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Since our start in 1976, the 12s have grown louder. And our dreams have soared higher.
Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 48 champion.
But we're not done. We're ready to stack more wins.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
To show the impact of 12 as one.
Nobody has left this place. It is pandemonium in the stand.
And create moments no one will ever forget. The 50th season starts now. Get your tickets at Seahawks.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Breaking news from this morning, the Seahawks and right tackle Abe Lucas have agreed to an extension from NFL Network's Mike Garafolo. It's reportedly a 3-year deal worth up to $46 million. The Mariners have an off day today, and they need it. Instead, it's officially week 1 in the NFL. The Cowboys open their season without Micah Parsons, with a game against the Eagles kickoff at 5:20 p.m. on NBC and Peacock.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin'